Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start the recording so we're not joshing around for too much longer. But,
Righto.
Live on mic, I'm gonna start deleting roles because the event is over.
Oh. It is.
Yes, this action cannot be undone. It was fun while it lasted, but it's over now. Everybody goes back to being themselves.
And soon I'll be able to fuck with people again. Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna create the punishment box, which is something you've been talking about for a while.
Well,
Because roles are fun,
did you already
kids.
start the recording?
Yeah, no, we're live right now.
Okay. Yeah, well, basically, the thing about, deleting roles and whatnot is, the roles that you set, because you locked them, you put them at top priority. So everything locked into those roles, I couldn't fuck with. So I couldn't, deny people the ability to chat, talk, type, all that stuff, because, their main role was their, racing. So I was like, alright, when this is gone, there's gonna be a fucking reckoning.
Yeah, basically to make the team's display first and foremost, you have to, throw them all the way to the top. Which, as like I said, fucks around with, the priority and stuff. But here we are. Everything's in order. I'm back at the top.
I am the agent of Zetzai's of the lucky beast of honeymoon. It will be a story.
That's a story for Let's Take FGO. We do it at the normal time this week. But we're doing What's Up today. And I will say really quick, hey, thanks for tuning in to What's Up. This is brought to you by patrons like I Got Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, Sodasan0424, and VideoGamer75. Yay, us. We're on to talk about music again.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, so we're recording this. This is an old school type recording for us. We're recording at 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
5 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah, on a Wednesday. Because I wasn't free this weekend. That's why we recorded Let's Take FGO a day early.
Yep.
And why there was no What's Up for a while. Though I was able to edit and push out an AP. And also on off days I recorded some news desk. Because news, those did okay. But yeah, we're here. We're doing What's Up. Everybody, you should, watch out, because we're going to talk a lot about video games. Possibly new video games.
Or new-ish video game.
And before we go anywhere, I just want to let everybody know, Bernadette is my spirit animal. And that's all you really need to know from me. No, I'm kidding. I'm Omega, by the way, that's lucky.
God damn it. Okay. Sorry, I'm staring at my phone right now, trying to get set up a EXP run on Girls Frontline.
Yeah.
It's being weird. Okay, so, where do we want to start off?
Because we usually talk about that, and that's very popular when I put gacha first and foremost in the episode. Is there anything really to talk about there?
God, no. Okay, well, let's talk gacha. So, real quick, how are you doing so far in your, Valhalla collab?
I got all the way through normal. It was a real bitch, but I did it. That last boss is, woo! That's a lot of micromanaging for Girls Frontline, which is not a game good at micromanaging. But I did it. I accomplished it. I didn't have to grind for that. Now I'm just grinding Knight's Fragments. I need 50 more to get Dorothy, and I'm just not getting the ones that are random drops only. There's no fucking way. That's way too much time out of my life I don't have.
Honestly, my buddy, Red, Omega, you know Red.
Yeah, I know Red.
He actually conned me on to a couple ideas to really help, because in the Valhalla collab, there are, you get 2 characters as mission rewards, you can buy 2 characters from the shop, and you can get 2 characters as drops in the maps. And it turns out that the 2 characters that are drops can only be found from, specific mobs. And if you know which mobs, you can easily make a beeline for those mobs, fight them, and if you don't get it, just restart and re-rinse. Because in both maps, the mobs are, right out the gate. You can hit them, turn 1, and go.
Well, I don't have a lot of days
That's how I got...
farming for fragments isn't hard, so maybe I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Put an effort,
as
at
I
least.
said, the drop rate is still super hecking low.
I saw somebody say they did 200 plus runs and hadn't gotten anything. They did eventually get it. They tweeted it, but it was
it's a really small chance.
The drop rate for exclusives in Girls Frontline is really soul crushing.
Yeah, but the good news is especially if you do it on the normal mode, you don't need to have a top tier echelon to do it because they're small fry mobs. Like, in the one to get Say, the White Knight girl, you just have to go attack the Black Bean. The map that has the bean in it. Just do that constantly. And I think I think it was like less than 5,000 combat potential. So you can just literally run it, just crash it. Like, I think some people say they do it with, just like, because I think that one particular was a day map, I think. But just
that's
like,
another thing that's really... we don't think we talked about this, but that's something that's a little bit dog shit about the Valhalla collab, is it flip-flops between day and night maps.
And sometimes you don't realize it until it's too late.
And then... Oh, yeah, no, I literally had to, quit a couple of, at least a couple of starting runs on the final map in normal mode, because I was like, shit, this is a night map. I need to see where I'm going.
Yeah. But, I can't remember, but, yeah, so I'm working on, Stella, which is the other drop, which is on the final map, and basically the first 2 enemies you can hit on the, hang on a second, on the right side of the map, because you have the command post and you have a heliport above that, the first enemies that you can counter from there, they drop Stella. So, like, after, like, I don't do farming on for my White Knight Primax on that map, no, I actually go to the EX-1-2, Adolescence, because you can actually complete that map without fighting anybody.
Oh, that's neato.
Yeah. The only problem is you have to get to fucking, get to it, because those EX maps, whew, I'm not trying to
I'm farming Truth or Dare, because I've got that down to a science, and you get 10 frags per.
Yeah.
So I will have cleared the 2 out of the shop tomorrow.
Yeah. Like, I already have both girls and all the equipment, so now I'm debating what else I want to get. Because, like I said, Valhalla is something that is near and dear to my heart. So I do want, like, the ID tags. I think I want to get Jill's, at minimum Jill's icon, because that is the look of absolute done. I'm like, yes, I must channel this in my card.
Yeah, I think we covered this pretty good the last time we talked about it, which I think was that last week. Well, it was a week and a half ago, Minnow. So anyway,
yeah.
But it's got a hump to get into, but the event itself isn't super bad. Like some of the game design problems are not the collab's fault; they're just how Girls Frontline does maps.
Yeah.
Like Camper's been talking about this. Like a lot of these events are newer and they're designed for like Chinese pro players. Like we don't have is it just neural mods? I think it is. We don't have neural upgrades yet.
Also, and heavy support.
Yeah, we are missing a couple of subsystems so far, even though we're a year in. Which is, and neural mods is the equivalent of rank ups and retrofits from other gacha type games. So it's like you do a thing. Think about this. FGO is actually really weird about its stuff. Like, for instance, you get costume changes for the Ascensions normally, for instance. And then you can also get the costume dress separately, right? So it's kind of the way it's leveling versus getting servants stronger versus upgrades is different, but it's like it makes the base unit better in Girls Frontline, but it also gives them new sprites and stuff. Like I don't remember, but there was a crappy Chinese rifle who was like pretty low rarity that was pretty regarded as a poor unit overall, who got an upgrade and now she's a fucking Gundam. She's got like a laser bayonet and super robot armor now, and like, blow stuff up. Apparently she can actually use it to do a melee attack, which is like, excuse me, yes, please. It's already hilarious that that one CZ, I forget her exact model number, but everybody knows which one I'm talking about because she throws the fucking axe. I love that. Yeah. I love that skill.
By the way, Axe, we're not necessarily recording on a whim. We're just trying to catch up to make sure we stay on track with our recording.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, but yesterday was not good for me. I did not sleep good. I had some leftover pizza that was originally cheese, so it had to be punched up with some spicy pepperoni, which was maybe a little too spicy because it kicked my guts in for a good long section in the night. So I did not sleep good yesterday. I was very tired. Like there are a couple of times I was like, I'm gonna tell Lucky we can do it. No, I'm sleepy. I can't do it. I'm sleepy.
And Lucky basically kicks down the door and is like, man, can we doing shit today? And he's like, nah. I'm like, cool. I go off and do something else. today, Omega, we're gonna go do something today. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna grab some Pop-Tarts first. And then we're
There
out.
you go.
Boom.
That's how we roll. But let's see here. Talking about Valhalla, honestly, like, I really enjoyed this event. I really did. I like the story. I like the characters. Like, I literally have dedicated a 5th echelon just to the extra characters, and I'm gonna make it work somehow, somewhere. Like, disregard, meta, acquire waifus. And at some point, Omega, I am gonna have to get you to actually play the original game.
Oh yeah, I will. Just like I said, I was sitting on some money at the time we discussed it, so I'm like, I don't know if I want to swing for it just yet. But it'll be on a Steam sale and it'll be super cheap. I'm very interested in it. I think I said this last time. I was like,
enough, it just came out on the Switch as well.
That's interesting. I don't know. I feel like I can probably get a better deal on Steam.
Yeah, probably. But
Nintendo never discounts nothing. Nax, don't worry about that. It's fine.
Actually, the Switch does discount some stuff, but they discount weird games. Like, you can buy games for like 99 cents on the Switch store. I'm just like, okay.
Oh yeah, well, their online marketplace has always been a little weird, but I'm just thinking, like, a lot like Sony and Xbox sometimes, I don't ever think of them as being like, and now we're gonna do a like, Sony's getting better about this, about PlayStation sales.
Oh yeah.
Like, we talked about this with, that's when I picked up Horizon Zero Dawn. But, like, there's definitely a thing where it's like, yeah, we're not gonna do a Steam sale and you know, top selling games are gonna be like 99 cents for a day. You have 12, like, Nintendo I don't think has ever done, you have 12 hours to buy Fire Emblem at $1. Go. Because they're Nintendo, they don't have to. So, I did sneak in a nice under MSRP, thanks Amazon.
Nice.
And then they shipped it to me early.
So, booyah.
Yeah, go Amazon.
So...
Sorry, it's already late, guys. I'm just, the calories from the Pop-Tarts I ate hasn't catalyzed yet.
Nope. Gotta burn sugars. So, Girls Frontline, it's like, again, like, once, like, nice thing about, I want to say about the Valhalla combat is it never felt, like, necessarily stressful. Like, each of the...
I think even for me, I've been like, oh, this is a little slow paced, but it wasn't like, I'm dying.
Yeah. And, you know, I appreciate that because, like, as I said, like I mentioned last time, I had to quit fucking, Magica Record. There are still people in our Discord crying to slow the fuck down.
No, they're still going full blast.
Yeah.
It's killing some people.
And so I appreciate that, especially also, I don't know, I think I have mentioned enough about Girls Frontline. It's good. I like Valhalla. They've already previewed their next event where you can get the SRS! Yes! This is one of the few rifles I actually know.
Yeah, also she's super cute. She has glasses and a bun.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is deliberate, because they're like, the event is like something like teachers or something, so it's like, yeah, no, they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. But, I guess, from there we'll pivot, with a 180 spin over to Azur Lane, which has been going through their, anniversary.
Yep, it's been 1 year.
Yep. And sure enough, they had a celebration on the USS Iowa. And it
was confused the shit out of some people.
Like, I don't know if I want to call it cringy, because I wasn't there. I don't know actually what the festivities were about. They had a live stream. I did not watch it because I absolutely and utterly totally forgot. That's how lucky
I chose not to watch it because I was tired that day. And then our two AL heads were like, oh man, the technical on this stream is kind of bad. I'm like, made the right decision.
Yeah.
So apparently they had technical difficulties. Their audio wasn't very good. Yeah. They said they were going to edit a highlights version and post that. I haven't seen that mentioned anywhere. I'm sure they would have tweeted it. Okay, so Panda watched it, so he's saying that
was the stream super cringe, or was the overall event super cringe? I need a little bit of clarification right there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Was it the stream was cringy?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Because just looking at it, the event was mostly just they seemed to have displays on the actual Iowa.
Yeah.
Which was interesting, and there were some people who were like super confused. There were some people though who were like posted a picture of like the standee of Hornet as like a cute anime girl next to the display they still have of kills from World War II. Where they're just like, and the CV Hornet has taken out this many planes, disabled this many boats, and I'm just like, yeah, that sounds about right for America. Here's a hot chick.
Honestly,
here's
like,
kills.
That's interesting history too, because again, we mentioned this a lot, but Azur Lane has its ships based in real life, and they have real life history. Like while how Enterprise is literally big dick swinging, and then the Eagle Union,
the most decorated carrier.
Yeah. Do you know who was the most crazy enough? Who you know who the next most decorated was? Motherfucking San Diego.
Well, that's why she's number one.
Yeah. People, make jokes about that, but no, there's actually, reason, a lot of, especially in Azur Lane, there's a lot of reason and, history behind a lot of those ships that, honestly, I think that actually putting the event on a ship so people can actually kind of see those things and understand, I think was, an interesting move. But as I said, there were definitely some people who were confused as fuck.
Yeah, there were, as we would say in the biz, there were normies there. That said, I've heard lots of people talking about this, and I think you even said it, was no, you're totally wrong. The Navy is all full of nerds. This is entirely on point. Which is my understanding too. I've seen stuff. Oh, there's a I don't know if I've got that image saved, but there's a tweet I really like. That's a guy. I think he was in the army, but he was saying this was the hardest game of Warhammer 40k I've ever played. And they're in bumfuck Kuwait or Iraq playing with stones out of 10-year-old guidebooks. But they were playing 40k in a tent in the desert in the army, right?
Yeah.
No. Those guys are, you think the army's jockish, but you're alone with just your boys for a long period of time with your dick in your hand. So you gotta pass the time somehow.
I remember seeing a 4chan thread about, people in the army getting exposed to anime and having, full on, your waifu is shit, arguments on the range. Specifically with, Everyday Life with Monster Girls.
I bet.
People, yelling across the rain, snake tits are best, and it's snake tits are shit, spider tits. And it's just, oh my god.
Of course.
And and I don't know if that story was true or not.
I bet it was.
When they wrote it, but I guarantee it's happened somewhere. Yeah. I started watching anime, when I was in, middle school, but I did not explode with anime until I got into the Navy. Before I got into the Navy, I could just catch what, what was on television. I can see what was on the international channel. Maybe Sci-Fi would have something. My friend introduced me to a place that you can rent anime VHS, but because anime had nudity, my mom was all like, "This shit's the devil." So I had to keep that on the down low. But I get to the Navy, and there's this guy who's just here, man, I got 500 gigs of anime, just boom. I was like, what? So it's and I just met so many dudes. They're yeah, let's just watch some fucking anime, man. Because here's one of the things about the Navy, especially when you're under deployment, you don't get TV when you're deployed. You might get some, but everything has to be filtered, channeled, information, all that crazy stuff. So a lot of what they do is people bring recorded shows and they just play that through the television system. So
yeah, you've talked about this a little bit about being at sea, but I would like to remind people who don't think about this. You're in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
You don't get TiVo out there, okay?
Yeah, so
there's no
people
fucking
would
dish.
have downloaded seasons of television, so and they would just play that. But let me tell you real quick, you kind of get real sick of House and Friends and Charmed and Supernatural real quick when that's all that's fucking on.
Oh yeah, no, it's Netflix but worse because you don't have the whole thing.
So
I don't know if I was Netflix, I'd try and score a contract with the U.S. Navy.
Maybe.
Put a cup.
Well, I don't know,
you think they got any room for some servers in some of the back rooms?
Oh, totally.
Here we got a little Netflix spun up. It's not going to update. But...
No, literally, just go ask the IT guys. Guarantee. Here's the thing. I was friends with IT because literally when they were not working, they would set up an Xbox and a projector screen in their workshop and just fucking play.
Of course they would. Because you're in the middle of the ocean.
You're in the middle of the ocean. Literally nothing but 14 miles of fucking blue-ass water and skies.
And ideally, if nothing's going horribly wrong, you don't have anything to do in the ocean. You mostly stand around and are prepared for something bad to happen. And obviously,
well, that was the other bad thing. If you didn't have something to do, and your
that's
department was
the military.
dicks,
they'll
find something for you to do. Do you know how many times I painted a gray ship gray?
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's the classic. Because, I mean, if anybody's ever watched Generation Kill, they can probably understand this. But also, if you've been in the military, that's a morale thing. You don't want sailors or soldiers standing around doing nothing. These are men poised to kill. If they get truly bored, then you have a morale problem, which is bad. So they will find something for you to do, so you don't think about how much it sucks that you're in the middle of the ocean and you can't go home.
Let me tell you right now, I still thought about that constantly. It doesn't matter how many fucking walls I'm painting. It sucked.
Yeah, some people can multitask. Like, I'm sure I would be that guy. I would paint the fucking wall, and I would be like, I'd be, pull out my imaginary watch and say, all right, how many days till I can go home? Only I wouldn't, because I'm terrible in the ocean. I'd probably be puking. I don't know. I suppose eventually you're supposed to get over that, but, like, I don't know. I'm not good at oceans. I can do heights.
People I tell people stories I have of riding out storms and like the highest lookout point, and it's all like, is that how lucky you got a Voyager of the Storm? I'm like, yeah, kinda, because you literally become one with the fucking world as you are literally strapped to a railing as like you got like fucking like I don't want to say hurricane level, like typhoon level winds and rain just beating on you, and you're just all like. If it really wasn't for this rail, I'd probably be flying off into the drink right now. And I gotta stay up here for the next hour. This is a trial. But the moment once the storm breaks and the sea is... Ah, shit, I totally forgot the term for it. Becalmed? Not a fucking wave in sight, and the entire ocean just looks like a glassy, a glassy sheet. You're just all like... This is kind of amazing. I don't ever want to do it again, but I'm gonna log this in my fucking book of wondrous experiences. Like I'll tell a lot of people, I didn't like being in the Navy, but at the same time, I appreciate what it did for my character, which isn't something to say about the military as a whole. It's like I don't agree with a lot of military practices nowadays, especially with how they develop soldiers, but it's a learning experience. It definitely is. But enough about that. I was talking about fucking ship girls, motherfuckers.
Yeah, so we're doing the anniversary right now. I don't know. They've just updated for. Did they actually put anything new in? I don't know yet. There's another fan book. Get your fucking paints. They do that a lot. There's a crazy long thing to unlock Aurora, which involves using all your daily hard modes.
Oh god.
Literally every day so far has been, and do complete a non-event hard mode map 3 times. I'm like, so do my daily hard modes, okay.
Shit, I need to do that. I haven't been doing that. God damn it.
No. Don't worry, they give you a couple extra days, I think, so it's not, I don't think it's a problem. But yeah, because you're limited to 3 a day, and it's 3 a day, so. I don't know, there's some other stuff that's in there that I haven't really paid attention to. There's some new skins and stuff, there's a new special anniversary. I've got Taiho, which was cool. Thirsty Taiho, which was, that was a ship that was new in like Japan and China. I think when we started playing about a year ago, that was like a big deal that she'd just come out during their anniversary. So we got her, and that's cool. I rolled her. I haven't rolled anybody else, which is kind of a shame because there's some cute fluff ships in there, but we'll work on that still. When you actually play Azur Lane, you get lots of cubes.
Yeah,
it's important to remember.
I was quite fortunate. I did get Taiho. I think I just got her yesterday or the day before. But before that, I got me a wild albacore, and I got me the fluffiest Le Téméraire.
Yeah, that's the one I'm interested in, just because of reasons. We've talked about that before, though. I love those books.
Yeah,
I need to
read
see.
Here's this is the crazy thing about Le Téméraire. I didn't want because I want to remind people in case they haven't listened to that. Le Téméraire is a French ship, but the only Le Téméraire I know was from Naomi Novik, who's an author. Book series, Téméraire. First book being, Her Majesty's Dragon.
It's about Napoleonic Wars with dragons, dudes.
It's fucking amazing. But the main character, William Lawrence, gets a dragon, and when tasked to name it, the first thing he can think of is this really beautiful French ship he saw, named the Temeraire, and so therefore names the dragon Temeraire. And, just like as someone who really likes dragons, and, who's someone who deals with boats, that really stuck with me. So the fact that I can get a La Temeraire in my ship girl, who happens to be a quite fluffy, happy-looking girl, who, on second look, is, quite, what's the word I want to use? As the boys say, thick.
Extra thick.
I was like...
By the way, I added that emote.
High levels of
I don't know
right
if you've
there.
noticed that yet.
But,
Vesper posted it, and I immediately stole it. I was like, I need that. I could make my own fucking Aku crop, but I'll just steal the one that was posted.
I can make the...
I don't know, I kind of like the background.
Okay. But, yeah, I was like, this girl's amazing. I love her.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get that one. There's one of the... I'm bad with names, so I'm like, there's one of the X's there. Is it...
SX.
Okay, so it's Essex.
Essex.
We already have Sussex. We already have Sussex. We now have Essex.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I'm not
England. Those are both place names.
So, there's that. I was just thinking about this the other day. There's someone's job at Manju Studios, or whoever it is, to sit down and make a fucking fill-in-the-numbers coloring book. That is their fucking
Correct.
job. Because the first time they did this, like, oh, this is unique. But they've done it like 3 or 4 times now, so like, oh shit. Oh, I messed up on my, run. I wasn't paying attention. Good job. Pay attention when you gotcha. There's someone's job who's to sit in and make pictures with fill in the colors, and then calculate like all the squares and be like, alright, here you guys go. Let's do that. Because I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like doing these fill in the numbers.
Yeah, when you have enough paint anyway, they're very fun if you can do a lot at once. When you're starting and when you run out, it's kind of frustrating. It's like, game, why didn't you give me literally 2 more blacks? I literally need, like, to draw an eyebrow here. Thanks, guys.
But this is like, I just imagine like someone at the same game design. So yeah, we're gonna need you to make like 6 pictures. And, get that in on our desk in, like, the next month.
In, like, pixel art form, too.
Yeah. Like...
Ooh,
I always like, too, like, especially, like, I don't know, I guess it's...
Can I retweet this?
What is it?
It involves Band-Aids. I'm gonna give a risky retweet.
Oh.
It's in art dump right now, but I was just like, can I retweet this?
I immediately... Oh, Hughes did finish fucking Kermit, excuse me. I need to retweet the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I posted that. I linked it when I was eating earlier.
Sasuga. Bless you. And I guess you... Oh, what? I also... God. Fucking Melanini. You're doing fucking... Adelante. Stop it!
No, they refuse. There's a lot of art going on. People are agitated for reasons. Because we won't talk about it in depth, but the Part 2 banner actually came out for Summer 4,
yeah.
so...
I will,
Have you seen some of those arts and animations? Because I know you were out earlier.
I will say, I will say this, officially. I am fucking, Summer 4 has officially killed me. I am dead. Let me check something. Yes.
You are already dead?
Yes. Lancer form confirmed. So, that's confirmed.
Oh, yeah, did you see, she has a costume dress so she can put her fucking sunglasses on.
Oh my god.
In her hoodie form, she can put her sunglasses on and off. That's not very Cash Penguin of you.
Don't you mean that's not very Quartz QP of you?
Also true.
But
I've only seen her. Well, they're all really memey, but Lambda is very entertaining.
we're not.
No, I'm not gonna get into detail, but I already wrote all the descriptions and stuff, so I'm ready to talk about them when we record Let's Talk in a few days. Though I can say that graphic designer Lucky is still getting the thumbs up. There have been a couple of instances where algorithmically YouTube was like, "Whoa, hold on!" But I asked for a human review, and we have passed both times. I didn't really lose any money, so we're still good. We're gonna keep making those thumbnails.
Yes. Wait, where was that thing you said you were gonna post? I don't see it.
Oh,
See, it was an art dump?
Oh, I retweeted something. It was posted in Art Dump earlier.
Home.
Nor linked it from Reddit, but it was a tweet, so I retweeted it.
Oh, she's cute. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Not it. Let me just click on your profile.
You can. That might work. Is your Twitter accidentally in best versus time?
That's a nice art style.
Yeah.
I will tweet that as well. What? This has no retweets? Shame. Fucking shame.
I don't know. It might have been more original. I know. It's on Reddit. Anyway. It'll blow up.
Eventually, yeah. It's only been... But, yeah. So, as I said, FGO has preemptively slayed me 2 years in advance. So, but more about that later. Azur Lane, as I said, it gets trucking. As I said, it's nothing super complicated. Although there is, for the 1 year anniversary, there's a bunch of little stuff to do.
Yeah, there's something I haven't even looked at. There's like skin rental, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do that. That sounds like a bad idea. That's gonna make you want to spend money.
They also just did their gem bonus renewal, which I'm like, fuck. Ugh,
yeah, I don't know how long that lasts because I want to maybe cash in on that sometime. But anyway, they did give me enough gems to buy more dock slots. Thank you.
And they gave you a ring.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know who I'm going to spend that on. I need to double check who my lovely ladies are that also have dresses. I did do the year in review. I think I tweeted it. That was a long time ago by now.
That is something neat I want to mention about the anniversary is they did a year in review. It lets you gives you a bunch of your stats.
Yeah, it's like
I can't remember any off the top of my head.
PlayStation
but it did let me know that I have oathed it did let me know that I have oathed many girls. I was like, yeah, well, not many girls, but plenty of girls.
I'm gonna scroll back through my Twitter. There's gonna be a lot of stuff, but we'll see. We'll see if I can find it.
I gotta see it.
Yeah, save some stuff. Let's see. Line work, arts, so much arts. Yeah, there's the thing I retweeted from Tank, which was that wasn't very Quartz QP of you. There's a full-size Da Vinci made. There's that comic about losing your little Ishtar. Oh yeah, so I got the tweets about people, normies seeing the Azur Lane stuff. Apparently on the, in Japan also, on the Mikasa, there was a Azur Lane tie-in thing. Never mind, so I need to watch that Invader Sim thing on Netflix. But that's a whole nother topic, is there's a shitload of Netflix stuff I need to watch that I haven't gotten to yet. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a new season of Glow, and there's a new season of Mindhunter all of a sudden. I'm like, damn, dude, I love Mindhunter. Scrolling back. There's Enterprise's new skin, which is really cute, that I probably can't afford right now. God, no,
again,
there
it is. Mention how much I fucking love the FGO 4th anniversary CM.
Yeah.
I'm literally on Omega's Twitter, and he's like showing someone who's showing all the key visual animation. I'm just like, oh my god, it's so amazing.
Yeah, so I'll share this with patrons, but I found it. It was on my way back. That's me. It's got my enter day, exactly 365 days of duty when I did it. Member of the guild, number of brides, pieces of furniture, total furniture value, and some other stuff.
Azur Lane, open up, please. I'm kind of sad because on my new phone, which I switched everything over to, it actually keeps track of my total hours played.
Oh no!
But yeah. So on my phone, on my current phone, which I've had like a year. So in the past year, I have played 679 hours and 13 minutes of Azur Lane.
Yeah, I really don't want to look. That's like looking at your Steam library. How long have I played this?
Yeah.
It's a dangerous prospect. Though, since we were talking about gacha and Steam, I will also briefly mention I still haven't opened up Onmyoji. I haven't had time. I got Fire Emblem unexpectedly.
Unexpected Fire Emblem. Best surprise.
Yeah, I was almost mad at Amazon when they were like, "Oh, it's shipped to you. It'll be to you on Sunday." I'm like, "Fuck." I really got to work on Breath of the Wild. I was cruise controlling with my 3 gacha games. Now I got to do work.
Yeah, I need to do these fucking missions. Excuse me, New Dawn battle. We are going to battle right the fuck now.
Do it.
Hard mode engage. But I'll check my stats after that because I don't want to forget later. But shoot, what was I gonna say about Azur? I don't know. It's fun. I'm glad I've been here for a year. I'm glad I have not completely and utterly crushed my wallet playing it. Ugh. But I probably will be buying those gem packs eventually. Just at a more leisurely pace.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah, we're gonna talk about you and something about a fool and his money.
Yeah.
But that's entirely an FGO story.
Yeah. I will say though, I am turning 32 this Friday, and as I look back at my the year and what I have done, all I can say is, God, I'm dumb.
Welcome to Showbiz.
Yep. So, as I said, Azur Lane's nice. Girls Frontline is nice. I think that covers it for
we've
gacha.
you deliberately called your gacha games, and I haven't gotten into anything new in a while, so
yeah.
Let's talk about the Switch.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go first, or should I go first? Who talks first?
Honestly, I'm probably gonna talk a long time about my particular Switch game.
All right. So, because I don't have complete thoughts on some of this stuff, I'll jump in first, really quick.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild beat it, by which I mean I beat Calamity Ganon. So that moment, first off, that OST track, the OST is pretty good, though. I like it. I agree with some people that I'm like, it's kind of sad that like some of those motifs aren't better represented, but the Hyrule Castle themes, both inside and outside, are pretty cool. But I think it's in my YouTube history somewhere, but I think it's like Divine Beast Strike or something. That was fucking baller. Where like Calamity Ganon comes out of the tube, and you're like, oh, it's on now, and then it's like, oh right, those guys, my friends who are dead. I saved them. Cool. And they just blow up half his health bar. That was pretty neato.
I liked how they did it. It's like, okay, we're gonna converge lasers and just Pillar of Light. And you're just all like, whoa!
Yeah, we're just gonna blow his ass up. And it doesn't kill him, but it eats half his HP bar, and you're like, yeah, we did stuff. Go team. High fives. I'm gonna hit him with the Master Sword now. And honestly, he's not that hard. But most Ganon fights in Legend of Zelda, I don't recall as being hard per se. They're much more cinematic focused. Though I don't know, I haven't played a whole lot. There might be some where stuff's hard, like somebody's probably going to tell me about Skyward Sword was really bullshit because of motion controls or something. I don't know. But like that's not usually what I think about when I think like there are some tough bosses in Zelda, but I don't usually think of them as the final confrontations as super hard. They're, like I said, usually much more thematic. I still have to go back and do stuff. I found out later, because after I'd beat the game, it was time to, look up all the stuff I missed. I stopped at 116 shrines, and guess what? There were 120. So
really?
I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. Yeah. Like, I'm exactly 4 short. So I did not get the Tunic of the Wild and stuff, so I'm like, oh, dicks. I definitely gotta go back and finish those off. Check that out. I wanna like do all the little stuff, do all the side quests, upgrade all my armor. There's still some like nooks and crannies of stuff I didn't get to. Though I hit a lot of the big ones. I like explored the Forgotten Temple, which was a really cool area. There's a lot of really cool set pieces in Breath of the Wild. I like it a lot. Also I'm probably gonna buy and play the DLC at some point. I'll get when I feel more safe in my cash, I'll get the season pass and stuff. And also I need to expand my Switch storage, but that's a different question. Mm-hmm. But I want to do like the Ballads of the Champions and stuff and see some more things. Though, while I was reading about the DLC, I did find out that like I'm glad to hear that this is what they did, was that Nintendo, the reason why they're doing a direct Breath of the Wild sequel is because they had so much inspiration for DLC. They were like, why don't we just make a whole second game? Which I love. Like, it's bad when a game, I think, is separated out where it's like, oh, clearly you only shipped half the game and then the other half comes as DLC kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I also think sometimes it's kind of sad when you put out a game and then you try and like go that extra mile in DLC, but it doesn't go as far because it's DLC, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they kind of reached the middle point where they put a little bit of DLC that gives you some more details, but then we're like, oh shit, we actually have like story ideas. We need a whole second game to explore this, which is cool.
Yeah.
I also finally watched that teaser because I beat the first game, so I was like, no need for spoilers. Which is, it's very interesting thematically to look at it. So we'll see what they do. I've started watching Breath of the Wild lore videos on YouTube, which is always great because people are huge nerds on the internet.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Though it like, and that makes me realize things. Like somebody was talking about big mysteries that are unsolved in the Zelda series, and they were like, so in Twilight Princess. First off, here's another thing. Why are lore YouTubers always British? Or at least have that accent? I don't know. All those channels are. Like every time I see one of those videos, they're like British or Australian or something. I don't know. But I'm not gonna do the accent, but it was like, so in Twilight Princess, you go up to Snow Peak Manor. Why is this here? Why is it there at all? Which is like a good question. But also, they said to me that it's something I realized. Let me actually look at the Twilight Princess map. The actual map too, not the flipped version. But hey, Lucky, if you think about this, did you realize that the area where Snow Peak is in Twilight Princess, that's Hebra. That's the snowy region in Breath of the Wild. Like it matches it perfectly. Yeah, it's that corner of the map. And if you played the Wii version, it's not because it's mirrored because they mirrored the game. But yeah, no,
I played GameCube.
Yeah, so when you play the normal version where Link is left-handed, like the map is not mirrored. So yeah, no, it's literally that's the northwest, the upper left corner of the map is where Snow Peak is. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, holy shit, you're right. That's where Hebra is. That's where it's so cold and shit. Damn. Like, so many little details in this map are so great.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that Breath of the Wild 2 might actually have to do with the Twilight Realm.
That could be interesting. I know they did a nod to Twilight.
Yeah.
They did a nod to several past Zeldas, but that's cool. The Twilight Realm and some of the characters from Twilight Princess, I think, were not underutilized, but they were a little, like, kind of left hanging. Like, you go through this whole journey with Midna, and then she's like, okay, I'm breaking the mirror, okay, thanks, bye, I'm super hot, later. And Link's just like, wait.
No! My dick is confused!
But, never mind that I've got, like, 2 or 3 girlfriends already, because it's Link, of course. But, like, and then it's just like, bye! There was a whole deep-seated thing with their fucking mystery and the Twilight and the whatnot later. Though, I don't know, the Zelda's got an interesting meta plot, apparently, that I really missed by not playing Skyward Sword.
Yeah. Like, honestly,
though I think it's, I don't, not that I like to rag on Game Grumps too much, but I know that Aaron has very strong opinions about Skyward Sword. Do you remember if he liked Breath of the Wild? I think he did, which is funny because it was made a lot by the Skyward Sword people and references aspects of Skyward Sword a lot. But anyway, that's just an interesting thing to me, like little details that like, I can sense it, but also I've seen it. There's a lot of Skyward Sword influences in Breath of the Wild, like the goddess statues, the springs, stuff like that. I don't know why, like, I haven't seen much of Skyward Sword, but when I look at the Sheikah slate, I'm like, this kind of feels Skyward Swordish to me. Just that whole concept in general. Yeah, Skyward Sword, I watched Game Grumps play a little of it before I was like, Aaron's hate boner for this game is too much. I can't. Like, he really does not enjoy that experience at all, and while Dan tries to be very positive about stuff, he's not playing it, so it's a whole mixed bag. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll do our own Zelda retrospective.
Yeah, totally.
Add that to the list of games we need to play, because I've also been back into reading Halo a little bit, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna drag you along with me on a Halo adventure. And let me warn you, the old days they're gonna look pretty because we'll probably play the Anniversary Edition on PC, but they're gonna be a something, because the whole, only hold 2 guns things, that didn't start with Call of Duty. That started with Halo. And also, no sprint.
Excuse you, it started with GoldenEye.
Was you only have 2 guns in GoldenEye? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I played GoldenEye, and also we may have played modes like Golden Gun, where you're constantly switching. I don't know.
No, actually, if I remember, you can set up the guns, but I think you can carry all the guns.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that was one of Halo's big, like, genre definers was you have regenerating health because of shields, and you have 2 guns only, so you have to pick, and then also this was before FPSs had sprint. So it'll be a trip, but I think it'll be really interesting to like because you've said before to me that you didn't realize there was such a like big story element to Halo, and there really is. Because most people talk about how fun the multiplayer is.
with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's, everyone like so sells on the hecking multiplayer that single player kind of, just
Yeah, that's like, I know
side.
some people usually say those are good games, but I also, thinking back, I'm like, people have never really qualified. Because I played, like, Modern Warfare games, I know that they're saying that, in addition to, I think, the engine was relatively tight enough to do multiplayer, also it had a really good story. Halo's the same way. Like, that's Bungie. Like, you've played Destiny.
Yep.
That's basically Destiny is their Halo type gameplay, like, optimized. So the gameplay is tight. So I can see it being fun multiplayer. I haven't really had an opportunity to play it multiplayer, but no, I always enjoyed it for, like, a lot of the story stuff. And boy howdy, some of those remastered cutscenes are super pretty.
Super pretty.
I think they had Blur do all the cinematics for Halo 2 Anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, they're literally cinematic quality, and like, Halo's got really iconic music, but that's a whole different conversation. We've got a big list of game series we're gonna blow through on our channel. Uncharted, Halo, Legend of Zelda, some other stuff.
Resident Evil 7, Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
There's a list.
But
list.
Breath of the Wild, really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It's really great, and I'll get back to finishing off the other stuff, but I also, there's so many people talk about Three Houses, I was just like, alright, fine. What I said was, okay, I'm not going to bed until Hyrule is saved. And then I did that, and then I was like, okay, tomorrow I can start Three Houses. And so I have been playing Three Houses. Now, I should warn everybody who's listening if they don't understand Omega very well. Yes, currently I am playing on normal and casual. I am doing this because it's been a long time since I played Fire Emblem. So I would have already lost a couple of kids. Because it's, like I said, it's been a while. There's some growing pains. Especially because, to me, it's like, the casual mode is no permadeath. Which is normal for Fire Emblem. If a unit is not plot important, if he dies, he dies. And like I said, I would have lost a couple of scrub kids already. But that's because, like I said, there's growing pains. Because the last Fire Emblem I played seriously, other than Heroes, was 10, was Radiant Dawn on the Wii. I kind of didn't get into any of the DS titles, or definitely not the 3DS titles. So yeah, it's been a while. There's some learning curve stuff in there. Like, it blew my mind when I was like, oh, mage characters just learn magic and just use it? It's just like limited uses per map? There's no books anymore you have to buy? That's better, I guess? So yeah, like I said, there's some growing pains to it, and also I think there are some really unique things about Three Houses. But I like it, so I've been playing it. I spend a lot of my time wandering around the campus talking to people. I will tell everybody, though, I am a man of culture. I am playing as female Byleth. For the obvious reasons. The many. There should be like a charm point diagram there. It's off the charts. And of course, anybody who knows me should know, I went Black Eagles, because despite the fact that their name is black, they're red. And that's all Omega needs. Oh, there's 3 people here, they're color-coded. Oh, he's this, she's cute, and she's red? Dibs. Byleth is just, like, also, this is no spoiler, this is, like, literally the first thing you do out of the tutorial map is they make you pick a house. They make you talk to everybody, and they make you pick a house. Which, like, I think I've said this before, is my understanding is, like, that's good, because before Nintendo would have made you buy 3 separate games for 3 separate houses, so that's fine. That's fine that it's one $60 package, but... So, it's really just, like, I just imagine that I immediately stroll up to the monastery, I, like, grab Edelgard, and I'm like, dibs! She's so dreamy, guys. I just like to stare into her eyes. They're violet. And look at how red her cape is. Anyway, I like Three Houses a lot. It's interesting to kind of learn some stuff and kind of figure out some stuff for yourself. I've talked with people. It's like tailor-made for New Game Plus type stuff. It's, you can spend resources after you're done to carry over stuff between runs, and there's like different stories for the different houses. So obviously it's a game you're gonna play a few times through. So I'm content starting low and learning, and then maybe later I'm like, oh, but I want a bit of a challenge. I want to make sure I can spice this up. So it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of characters I like a lot. I feel like I picked the correct house. I mentioned earlier, Bernadetta is my spirit animal. Lucky will get this when he eventually gets around to playing the game.
Eventually.
And yes, I am laser focused, aiming down at Edelgard as female Byleth, because that is one of the handful. There's only a few, but there are multiple gay options in the game. I think dudes are a little more boned because there's like only 3, and 2 of them are like grown ass men. Like some people are already probably like a little weird that like, oh, you're a professor. Like people were weirded out like, oh, you're a professor. In story, you're a really dodgy professor. You're like 19 or 18, and the fucking archbishop, who also by the way, I believe you can date, and even if you're a woman too. And that's a route I've got to try sometime because she knows your dad, yeah. and my instant thought is like, are you my mommy?
I was about to say, is she high levels with Ara Mama?
Oh yes. Hold on, I'll find you the character art for Rhea. But yeah.
Shit, I need to talk to Rhea.
Show me that image. So this is Rhea, the Archbishop, who is your boss at the monastery, which is also the Officers Academy. Axe? No, shut up. No details. See, this is why I had to play the game, is people talk about stuff.
I've almost had to boycott fucking our games channel.
I had to do that a lot too, and I still have to watch out. Like, sometimes people talk about spoilers for spoilers. I don't know. She's got a relationship with your dad, so I'm like, are you my mommy now? No, your mom, that's not a spoiler, at least as far as I know, to say that your mom is probably dead. Like, there's some weird stuff going on with you, but like, 2 maps in, you have to find your dad, Geralt, and he's standing in front of a grave, and he's like, this is your mom's grave, here, have our engagement ring. You'll give this to somebody someday. And I'm like, okay, thanks, Dad. Thanks, mercenary dad. But, like, I won't get into why I'm like sus about that. But, obviously, there's a lot of, like, this is very interesting. So the first Fire Emblem I ever played was the Game Boy Advance one, which was, I think it was Blazing Sword in Japan, but in the States they were smart and just released it as Fire Emblem. Mm-hmm. And you have an avatar character there. You have the Tactician, who is just a character who does nothing and stands in the background and is theoretically advising the characters. But it it was obviously made to like appeal to the Western audience, because it was like, oh, you get this tutorial extended section and you feel like you're a character in it, and the characters talk to you, kind of, but you didn't do anything. 3 Houses is not like that. You don't get any kind of... you can customize the name and your date of birth. I put my actual birthday in just to be safe, but I'm kind of sad about that, because one of the other months, I don't know who it was, but some lucky son of a gun got like Wyvern Blood Moon as their month name, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I think I'm just like Ethereal Moon. I don't know. But Byleth is a character who is fairly static. Like, you've got some dialogue options, so you can choose to be like nice professor or snarky professor. Guess what I am. But like, you can't customize your appearance. You can customize your name and your date of birth, but obviously right away you are like, there's some weird story stuff, metaplot shit going on with me, right? Obviously. I joked about this in our games chat. I was talking about, no, but it's for reals though. It's Fire Emblem. It's got to be set up so that you have a reason to lowball the stakes. You have to punch bandits. And then the socio-political / occult crisis arises, which threatens the very fabric of your reality.
I like how that was put.
Yeah. First, you start with scrub stuff. Pissant nobles and bandits, and then it's like, and then the very fabric of our existence is threatened. Thanks, guys.
Well, I guess that's like rules of escalation. It's all like, you gotta cut your teeth on something so you can understand the game, and then
it,
all right,
it makes sense in this context. Yeah. Because you are a quote unquote professor, but the story I was originally telling about Byleth's age was like I said, you're like, in fact, your birth date isn't even recorded. You got some question marks. Thanks, game. That's not suspicious, but as far as I can tell, you're supposed to be a young adult. And then all the officers are like 15 to 17, so, Japanese high school ages. Pretty typical for a Japanese game. And I don't think it's a I don't think it's a spoiler that there's a time skip. Mm-hmm. I don't know the context for it, but I know that there is a time skip with different designs. Edelgard gets little horn hats, which if they're literal horns, that's pretty badass, but I think they're just a crown thing. because she's a. That's the thing about all your house leaders is they're like the future leaders of their countries, but she's got a cool horn crown thing, which I love. But yeah, you're not really that much older than your students. It's very weird for you to be a professor. Literally, like I said, Rhea just is like, all right, thanks for saving our students. I'm gonna Shanghai your dad into the Holy Knights, and you're a professor now. And I'm like, okay.
GG, mate.
I'm like, okay, mommy. Whatever you say. Sure, I'll stay. I'll have tea. It's a thing you can do is you can host tea parties.
Excellent.
It's great. I know that some people in our community were a little like, oh, it's kind of the high schoolish elements are kind of like disappointing. I think they're really cool because you actually get to like hang out with characters and like also it's the real teacher life. You have one free day. You have one free day a week. You get Sunday off. It's just like Japanese school. But you have to like plan your lectures, which can help your students grow and get different skills up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more freeform with classes. Like if you have the prerequisite skills, you can use weapons out of class. Like you don't get a dedicated archer class until like the 3rd tier.
Oh,
because there's a lot of tiers. Everybody starts as a commoner or a noble, which is just like your generic ass basic bitch tier, who can do a little bit of sword, do a little bit of melee, and do a little bit of magic. And then you've got like 4 basic bitch classes that you can start at like level 5, which are like, I think it's Myrmidon, Fighter, Soldier, Monk. So theoretically you've got a class for Axe, Lance, Sword, and then a universal magic class. It's weird. Because there is dark and light magic. I think elemental magic counts as dark. I'm not sure. It's a little confusing to me. I also, as far as I can tell, can't seem to. There's no tutorial tip about the weapon triangle, so I think that doesn't happen. Your weapon favoring units can learn combat arts, which make you good. Like I've got a Lancer unit who, for instance, learned the ability to beat swords, do extra damage to sword wielders. So I think that's how they handle it, which was a little confusing to me at first. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but okay, sure. So, like, it's super freeform with, like, what units can be what classes and use what weapons, which I like. Though, obviously, some people have preferences that they kind of go through. Like, students will approach you in lectures and be like, hey, professor, what do you think I should focus on? Should I focus on my lancing and riding skills so I can be a cavalry class? And you're like, okay, so clearly the game wants me to make you a cavalry class in, like, 10 levels. Cool, yes, focus on that. So you get really up in every unit's guts, like on what their specialties are and stuff. You can try and raise their stats. You still have random stat gen, which kind of bothers me sometimes because you can get those disappointing level ups where you only get 2 things level, and you're like, oh, you gained a point of magic, Axeman. Great, thanks, good job, thumbs up, good for you. But I just love that you can, on your free time, you can wander around the monastery and do stuff. Like, you can have meals with your students or other faculty. You can take faculty lessons from other teachers because you're still such a baby yourself that you know, like you start off with pretty low skill levels. You can, like, it's a monastery, so you can go to a choir, and do choir lessons and stuff. There's a version of the confessional booth, which is just like they leave letters of concern, which apparently Professor Byleth can just pop open and be like, give you fucking rando life advice. Like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. But it lets you raise supports, you can fish, you can garden, you can eventually unlock having tea, like I said, which is you get to have a little talky time with these characters. Everybody's birthdays are on the calendar, and you can choose to send them flowers and stuff. It's really in-depth, and I like it a lot. I like a lot of the characters a lot. They're very interesting. I have a lot of my favorites. You know, I like most people in my house, though there are some people I'm like, hey, Ferdinand, calm the fuck down. Relax, my dude. But they're all alright. They're beautiful baby children, and I'm playing on casual, so I don't need to worry about them dying, but it's a lot of fun. And like I said, I am zeroed in on Edelgard right now. It's funny because out of character I'm like, oh, she's so dreamy. I just like to stare into her eyes. But the vibe I get, especially from the fandom, but also in game, is there's a little bit of like Edelgard is obviously awestruck by you, Byleth, a little bit.
Mhm.
It's kind of funny. Like Edelgard's big gay energy is pretty big. Yes, exactly, because it's canonical. I think no matter what you do, you save Edelgard's life in the tutorial. The big scary bearded banditman is gonna ask her a question, and you're like, nope. I'm gonna save this random girl I've never met before, because I'm the protagonist. And then your probably 1,000-year-old lolly in your brain is like, whoa, dumbass, you're gonna get us killed. Let me rewind time. Whoop. Which is a mechanic. You can do the Divine Pulse and rewind a turn, which is fun. I haven't used it a lot, but it's cool. There's a lot of unanswered questions. Lucky won't get this, but I don't think it's a spoiler. I'll just say that free coffin swords are cool. They're the best. Find a free sword in a coffin. Anyway, Lucky will get that later. He won't even remember by the time it comes up.
So, by the way, I was actually talking to my friend about this because he decided to rage at me for a little bit. Apparently, 3 houses sold out again because he was planning on getting it for me for my birthday.
And it's gone already? Damn.
It's gone already, yeah. And so Amazon will be getting its next shipment on the 28th, so I'll have it by the 30th.
Yeah. Hot damn. But yeah, no, like, it's a really great selling game, and like, it's one of those things, like, I talked about this before, I was like, I'm trying not to get too overhyped, right? I'm trying to let this game come naturally, because obviously people like it a lot, and that means it's probably pretty good, and people are talking about it loads. They won't shut the fuck up about it. But also, that makes it really hard to come into a game with an open mind. And I think I've managed it, and I'm kind of glad, because there's definitely an element of the learning experience to this that I'm like, this is good. I like this. I like kind of meeting these characters I never really... Like, I knew the house leaders from their art, but I didn't really know their characters, so it's kind of nice to meet everybody and kind of, talk about stuff, invite them to tea parties, learn some stuff, hang out with some people, do support conversations.
Because I was burned by Fates and Birthright and all that. I kind of avoided 3 houses almost like the plague. So I participated in no conversation. So I literally know jack about this game, except that apparently everyone thinks it's God's gift to the green world right now.
It's a big deal for Nintendo and for Fire Emblem. Because I know that they've had contentious stuff, and it's a really big win for them, and it really does seem to be that good. Like, I'm not super deep. I'm like on chapter 5, I think, because I like to spend a lot of time dicking around in the monastery and doing free battles. Because, it does have a little bit of the problem where you're like, it's with any, like, tactical type game where you're like, oh, my favorite units, like Edelgard, is running away with the levels and is an unstoppable killing machine. She's an armored knight right now, by the way. And yes, there are literally some of the free battles I am doing where they're just like, I'm already at the no damage step, and I'm like, well, you're just fucking dead. She's got, like, an iron axe and is doing, like, 30 damage to scrubs. But then you have, like... And then I've got kids who aren't even level 10 yet. They can't even be, like, their for-real classes yet. And I'm like, okay, we need to work on you guys. You guys need to be better.
Clearly there is a class favorite here.
Wow, yes, I do, every time I get an opportunity, try and hang out with, like, 3 characters, but... I love all my Black Eagle babies. Go Eagles. Cacao! Do the secret eagle hand sign. Yes, also, I do free battles a lot because I want to try and get class abilities. Some of them are not worth it, but others will be, so I'm going to be like, yeah. But, like, also, no shocker to anybody, despite playing as actually, no, this probably makes perfect sense playing as Lady Byleth, but I'm pretty straight as an arrow, so I'm deeply attached to all the ladies in my house. And some of the ladies in other houses, but I'll recruit you. I'll figure out how to steal you. Because that's the thing you can do, by the way, is you can steal most characters from other houses. You can invite them to your class. And there's one guy you can do it really cheap. Was it Sylvain? Is his name, I think? He's got a weird fantasy name. I think it's Sylvain.
Shit, I need to do that. Fuck.
But, yeah, Sylvain. He's shallow. He's a womanizer, so if you're playing as Lady Byleth, you can literally invite him from day one. Which I did. And I'm just like, hey. And he was like, sup? And I'm like, hi, have we met? I'm Professor Byleth. Have you seen my fishnets? And he's like, I'm in your house now. And I'm like, cool. You will join my other Lancy boy. But no, and I said earlier, I really like Bernadetta. Speaks to me on a deep, personal, spiritual level. Because she stays locked up in her dorm room and has a terrible panic attack every time she tries to go out. So I love her, and now I've finally gotten her leveled where she's actually killing people she shoots at with her bow. Good job, Bernie.
Good job.
But Dorothea's really great. She's pretty fun. She before joining the Officers Academy, she was an opera singer. Not sure how that backstory works out yet. I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of that. Yeah, we'll get there. Her supports are a lot of fun. Also, like a lot of people have been saying, there's also a lot of big gay energy between Dorothea and Edelgard. So I'm like, can we make a triangle here? It would work out. Petra's also a lot of fun. First off, because she mains a sword, so I'm like, I'm gonna make you good at sword and stuff. But she's from a different nation. So she doesn't have a perfect grasp on the language, which is, I don't know how that was rendered in Japanese, but it's rendered not like in a trashy take candle kind of way, but like she doesn't get idioms, and sometimes her grammar is weird, but it's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Petra a lot. Okay, so she just kind of like stilts it in Japanese. Okay, because I'm playing with the English dialogue. I think most of the English voice actors are pretty good. I haven't run into anybody who sounds really weird. So, like I said, a lot of the characters are a lot of fun. Though, I don't know. There's, let me double check his name. I'm not good with names, kids.
I am off.
God damn. A dude in my house I actually like is, Lindhart, who, likes to sleep all the time. He is a professional sleep boy. So, I'm like, yes. All of Lindhart's interactions about either he's a huge nerd or he loves to sleep, and I'm just like, so yeah, hey, that's great. You're great. Also, he's my healing caster, so he gets to do lots of things all the time. But yeah, it's a super fun game. I really love the setup. Like, I didn't realize how much I would like this idea of like, you're almost in like a Harry Potter-ass, fantasy teaching place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a giant monastery. So, like, I just love the setup. I love you wander around the monastery, you plan classes. It's super cool. It's so cool. I was immediately like, how do I steal this setup for tabletop games?
Yeah.
Which I did. There is now an addendum in the Advanced Player's Guide for Mages of War, which is playing low power campaigns. They're very low power. As Lucky has talked about starting level, this is arguably even worse because you don't get your career bonus and you don't get starting XP. So you are a real newborn baby character. But that's intentional because it's like, this is how you would play civilians or students. And then you can graduate to your real class later. But yeah, I immediately put that in the fluff. I don't know if we'll ever playtest those rules anytime soon. Because obviously we got a lot of other stuff going on with gaming, but it's in there.
It's in there.
And it's just, I'm liking Three Houses a lot. I was, if Lucky hadn't jumped in and asked about recording, I would have been playing it right now after finishing dinner. Because I got a real fightsy to do.
Lucky's doing as he usually does. He just plays video games anyway while recording. Haha.
Yeah, but I'm up against a story map, so it would be harder to like pay attention to dialogue and shit and also talk.
Alright, so I am not playing, I am playing a not-so-illustrious game right now, but I think one that is still definitely worth mentioning. So, let me set the scene. Back when me and Omega first started recording on the regular, we decided to do a second show in which we talk about things we enjoyed, that thing being anime, at the time. And during that season, we started watching a particular anime called The Caligula Effect. It was only one core, it was 13 episodes. We watched it, and we were super fucking confused. Because turn out that anime was an adaptation of a Vita game.
Because of course it was.
And me in particular, I don't know how Mega felt this, but I was like so confused yet so intrigued by this game that I wanted to get it. And
we felt the same way, and like we were like, is there going to be a re-release? And then we were like, shit, yeah, there's going to be a re-release. Okay, when does it come out? We'll pick it up then.
Yeah.
Because like
they did. They
the style was really interesting. It was by like one of the original writers of Persona.
Yeah, Persona 1 and 2.
And obviously it very much had that feel, so it was like, okay, let's solve psychological problems as a youth.
Yeah. So, fast forward, I can't remember the exact date. But, like early this year, I want to say like maybe February-ish? February, March-ish? The Caligula Effect Overdose came out, which is basically, think of it as Persona 5 Royal, except for this. Some updated graphics, updated here and there's new characters, new maps, new scenes, all that crazy stuff. But at the basics, it's I don't know where I was going with that. It's a game. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. The anime and the game do not track each other at all. Like, shit is so different in the story of the game than it is the anime. The only thing that the anime did is, like, basically let me spoil, basically, all the shit that's going on in the game, so I am not as confused. Because, here's the setting. Basically, your main character, is in a virtual world, which has been created by two musicloids. Think, basically, Hatsune Miku basically makes a virtual world and then kidnaps people mentally so she can make them happy. Her name is Mu, with the weird symbol. Can I even copy that symbol? Hang on.
It's the actual Greek letter, I assume.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. There it is. Mu. Copy that shit. I'll post it in Patreon for it. This is her fucking name. Boom.
Yeah, that's the Greek letter.
Yeah. And the game starts. You're literally in a public assembly. You're like the second year representative. You give your speech, and then all of a sudden, boom! You realize the world's not real. Oh my god! Fucking panic and run.
Which
you run
is
around.
Kind of how the anime starts, but not.
Yeah. You run into Shogo, who in the anime had his power already, but in the game doesn't. You get your power first, and everyone's all like, protect me with your sweet dual gun power, and I'm all like, okay.
Which is reversed from the anime, because in the anime, the protagonist did it last, which was really weird.
Yeah. But you, like, literally meet, like, oh god, I want to say, like, hang on, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like, 6 of characters meet, and they've already made the Go Home Club. And you're like, yeah, hey, we're just hanging out here, and, try not to get caught. And like, okay. And then, and you found Arya, because of course Arya just, which is the other, musicloid, just bumps into you, and it's all like, go live, motherfucker! So, and, this game is literally just you trying to catch, Mu, so you can get back to the real world, because, you realize that this here is fake, and they didn't really explain this in the anime, but people who are trapped in this world are suffering from what's called astral syndrome. It's where their bodies are still active, but their minds maintain a dream, like they're in a dream. And so they're basically wandering around like semi-lifeless zombies in the real world. It's just like, that's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that reminds me of Persona 3 with, what do they call it? Apathy syndrome, where people just give the fuck. It's kind of the reverse, but they just give the fuck up so hard they just flop out of the street and don't do anything. Yeah. With the theoretical idea being that shadows are, like, eating their psyche, but, yeah. That seems like a very Japanese thing to just be like, yeah, people are just, oh, gee, there's something, like, really zoned out and what's the, I'm trying to think of, like, it's not like, it's like reverse possession, but, like, there's a term for it I can't think of because it's, like, 9:30 at night now.
It's a diss word, I can't think of it.
Is it like a dissociative thing?
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm thinking of. Like, golly gee willikers, all of our citizens have this weird dissociative thing where they just go through the motions of life and they're not really living. Some of the Japanese at least understand their social problems very well. There's some deep cuts.
So, Alright, and there the game basically just starts off. You basically run from map piece to map piece. You fight digiheads, and, you try to capture move, and you run into the enemy. So, first off, I'm going to talk about one of the things, first off, overall, I'm going to say Caligula Effect is an okay game. It's not a good game. It's not a great game. It's an okay game. And an okay game is fine.
To kind of put this in context, we had this discussion about Fallen Order last night, because we were talking about video games and, how good video games are versus how good people think they are or have to be, and kind of what people's responses are. And I was like, I'm predicting that Fallen Order will be a solid C, maybe a B+ if you like Star Wars still.
Yeah. Which we have to stress is not a bad thing. It's not.
No, I talked about my college history, and C's aren't bad, guys. It could be worse. You passed with a C, okay? You did statistically average.
Yeah. And that's where Caligula Effect is, because, I really, my fondest wish for this game is that instead of it being developed for the Vita, that they had developed it for the PS4. And given it the time and polish it really needs. Because, there's okay, so, I guess I'll just, go into some of the fucking mechanics here. So, the combat system is kind of fucking amazing. So, it's a mix of turn-based and action. Basically, you have 3 actions on your turn. Up to 3 actions on your turn. And you have a variety of attacks that you can skill up and learn more and whatnot. And when you select an attack, you will either, move to do the attack, or you'll wait to do the attack. There's a time between, where you do your attack and after attack where, you're frozen and you're doing your skills or whatnot. And it's, basically you have to, try and set up combos with your skills or break other characters' combos. It's a very, very technical system, but it's, I know the term, it's easy to understand but hard to master. Basically you have, because every time you select a move, you go into a what's the word I wanted? A simulation of how the move will play out. So before you actually start your turn, you'll see your character move to do the moon, attack the character. You'll see if that launches the character. You'll see if the enemy is able to stop your attack. You see if they can be able to block your attack and whatnot. And from there, you can okay, no, I don't want to do this. I want to do something else and maybe try to capitalize on the move that this character was making. Sometimes you're just screwed. You're no, I have to just jump out of the way of this attack. Otherwise, I'm going to get stun locked. It's and you have to do this with up to 4 characters. So if you're tactic savvy enough, you can literally lead into one attack with another. Didn't have a second character, follow up with their own attack. Have a third character wait until the enemy hits the ground, and then you pull off a skill that only hits downed enemies. And then, have your third character in the back, casting buffs on everybody so they can hit that harder or stun that much easier.
Yeah, that's that sounds like in a vacuum, that sounds like there's kind of a positive there, which is you get a lot more information than even some games are used to giving you. It's really good, where more information is more better decisions. But at the same time, that's also, I'm thinking man, that's got to be kind of tedious sometimes when you have to do all this cerebral thinking about literally everything you do.
Okay, but here's the fucking other half of this. It is so easy to grind in this game that the main character is literally 10 levels above the enemies I need to fight right now, and I can beat most enemies just by spamming my basic fucking attack. My character, I'm playing right now, my character is literally running around by himself in the latest dungeon, just killing things as I'm, grinding. I'm grinding. So I'm just, there's, it has a lot of potential, but at the same time, it's no, you can do it. It also has a thing where you can have, characters do auto attacks, which I usually do because honestly, I don't need anyone else's help. I can literally, probably solo most bosses with my character right now. So I'm literally alright, you guys just do whatever. I'll make sure to break shields or, shoot them a lot. And they will die. But as I said, once in a while that does bite me in the ass, because if you get enough enemies, if you get hit, because your attacks have a strength, an attack strength, and a defense strength. The higher your skill's attack strength is, the more likely it is to break an enemy skill. And the more defense strength it has, the less likely an enemy skill will break it. The main characters has shit attack and defense strength for all his skills. You're just like, man. Which I kind of feel is like a game balancing mechanic to keep you from just being completely OP, but guess what? You're still completely OP. Second gripe about combat number 2. When you get a game over, the game just kicks you out to the fucking developers.
Oh, brutal.
And that's like, they have like 6 fucking developers. I'm like, oh my god.
It kicks you back to the title.
Yep. I'm like, I don't even get a load option? No? Okay.
You'll get a load option when you get back to the title, scrub.
Pretty much. So again, combat, I really, really like.
Yeah,
it's
that's
fun.
kind of weird. The way you described it to me is like they have a really interesting in-depth combat system that's got a lot of levers. And like most systems like that, there is a I'm too dumb and I'm soul sucking my way on a subway ride or something option. Right. Like I'm on the bus, I'm going to work, I don't want to think about this bullshit kind of thing.
Like I said, again, originally it was developed for the Vita, which is a handheld console.
That's what I'm referencing, is like they've clearly made it with portability in mind. So that like if you don't want to do it for realsies, you can like autopilot it literally.
Mm-hmm. So,
but they've got this interesting juxtaposition where on the one hand, the like no game over screen, like hard cut to title, that makes me think this is like a hardcore serious for difficult game. But the way you've described how easy it is for you to grind makes me think it is not. Are there a lot of like difficulty levels you could have picked?
Oh yeah, I'm just playing on normal. Let me see here.
Yeah, so maybe it's tighter if you play it harder. There's some games where like I was actually thinking about this with Halo, where like the developers of Halo say that heroic is the difficulty it's intended at, which is like not very hard but hard.
Yeah. Right, so battle difficulty goes easy, normal, hard, extreme. I'm playing on normal.
So it's possible that this game was designed with like hard in mind, maybe. And then normal is like tuned down, so like you're maybe missing some of the back and forth. Which some games are like that. Like I know a lot of our to pivot back to Three Houses, I know a lot of our community members who are like really into Fire Emblem are like, yeah, I immediately started playing on hard, and that's not hard enough for me.
Yeah, ever.
So like, which like I said, for me that's no problem because I'm like, it's been so long, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I've been in a cave or I've been in a coma for like 20 Fire Emblem years. I have to return my muscle memory.
All right, so
yeah,
now,
like I'm just saying that it seems like there's kind of a weird juxtaposition between like this is a Persona Atlas style I'm gonna kick your dick in RPG versus this is actually really easy to autopilot, which is kind of interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah. So I guess it's one of those games that you can kind of play your way. You have the option, which I value. As I said, I really do like the combat, but sometimes like when it's like 3 a.m. and I don't want to think, I just go run around. I spin kick fucking digiheads in the face, and I just shoot them a lot. Because that's one of the mechanics. If you run up to a digihead and you do a fucking you do the attack to get to the prize, your character fucking does like a fucking jumping spinning roundhouse. I'm all like, okay,
that's pretty funny.
It is pretty fun. Like every time.
Like in Persona, you just used whack shadows.
Yeah, no, you gotta get martial arts on this shit.
Unless you've got Ryuji's Confidant super leveled up in 5, and then you just like insta kill them, which is hilarious but different.
So second thing about combats, as I said, you get 3 party members, and I think you get like what? Hang on, pull up the fucking wire.
Oh, that's right. You had to talk about this, the party members and stuff. So you told me some of this already.
Yeah. So okay. So there are. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 other PCs that are in the Go Home Club, which are your main members. They are all fucking unique characters with all their fucking separate traumas and stories you can listen to. And then there is, hang on, let me pull up this fucking number, 524 other students you can interact with and add to your party. I shit you not. 524 characters. They have this giant map. Actually, let me see if I can find a fucking picture of it for Omegas, just so we can, like, understand this real quick. So hang on 1 second. They basically have this giant map called the Causality Link, which lists all 524 students and their like relationships to each other and like classes and whatnot. So hang on, I gotta actually show this. Of course they do.
God damn.
Causality.
That's excessive. Maybe? Like, I kind of get what they're going for. That's obviously like a, feel the real school experience.
Can I get a full map? Oh my god, like, here.
Probably.
Like, I can't. Like, honestly, it's just not, there. You can't get the full thing on screen. That's like the fucking bullshittest thing. But hang on, let me, like, I will just, like, just show you a part of them, I guess. Hang on. Ah! That is not how I link images. Dumbass! Let's see. I'm just trying to open up a fucking image here, people.
Well, I already Google image searched it myself, and I'm kind of seeing it where you can see the kind of, like, how many options there are, or where they're grouped, and just... No, it does not all fit on one screen. You can't zoom that far out.
You can't zoom that. There are 3 years and 7 classes in each year. So that's 21 classes, each having between, I can't, but minimum like 15 to like 25 students.
I know that's quote unquote realistic, but hot damn, that's just why.
Now, and here's where I start getting into a little bit of problems with the Caligula Effect. You kind of have to randomly find these fucking people. There is no way to like, alright, I haven't met this person, let me do a thing so I can find them. So it's like, oh my god, like, right now, let me tell you like this, I have played this game for, it actually tells me, 45 hours, 27 minutes, and I've only found 234 out of 524. Now, part of that is because I have to run into people randomly. The other part about that is, characters are locked, generally, until you have talked to someone who is adjacent to them. And when they are all spread out, I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to find these other people. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of, like, grouping algorithm to them, but I don't fucking know it. Like, my method is to literally just start running through old areas and just seeing if anyone new has popped up. And when you do that, apparently this is how Japanese, friendship work. You talk to them 3 times and they'll let you in onto their, deepest fears. Or problems. Because that's what it is. You talk, basically, your starting value is, if it's not locked, which is, when you have to talk to, like, one of their friends, quote unquote, it's 0. Once you get that to 3, they'll tell you, something that's troubling them. That, then unlocks their trauma quest. Once you've gotten them to 3, and you've unlocked their trauma quest, you can invite them to your party. You can level them up. When you level them up, you get skill points. You can then turn around and spend those skill points on your own characters. Which is, to be fair, it's useful, because here's one of my gripes about this game. There are no shops. There are no currency. You don't buy a single fucking thing in this game. The only items in this game are your 3 equip slots, which is called attack impulse, defensive instinct, and amplification. And you only get those items
because this is about psychology.
Yep.
That's a little tryhard, gotta be honest.
And you can only get those through these, like, weird little treasure chests that are just on the map, or through drops. So there's no, like, gear, like, you either have to farm for, like, specific things, or, you know, find them in the world. That's a little bit of a pain, because in order to resolve some of these students, well, actually I should probably say at least minimum, like, half of these students' problems, you have to find a specific one of these equips. Actually, what are these? Stigmas. They call them stigma. You have to find them one of these specific stigmas and equip them with it. So I'm like, alright, so I have no guaranteed way to get this item, so I have to literally run around and hope that I beat up something that might just happen to drop it. And there's no codex or anything explaining where I might be able to get these things, so it's literally completely and utterly RNG. I'm just like, okay? Like, and here's like the other weird thing about the stigmas. You can play the game complete without them and be fucking fine. Like, let me pull up my character here. Alright. So my character's attack right now at level 49 is 2016. His attack impulse, which is the strongest one I have, is attack plus 61. That's it. Not much of a gap. If I was to go without it. It almost feels completely optional, which kind of weirds me out. Like, I do kind of enjoy, you know, like, let me see here. Let me actually pull up the causality link thing. Because usually you have to, like the stigma you equip to one of the 524 students is something related to their trauma. Let's see here. Like, okay, so, this character, Masaki, Yokokawa, year 1 class run. Trauma, perversion, sexually harasses other, worried there might be potential to commit more severe crimes in the future. Learn to suppress these urges. Equip police siren to defense instinct. Just let that percolate in there for a little bit. So basically, you go out the world, you find the defensive instinct police siren, you get this, you put that boy in your party, you open up his equipment, you're like, all right, I'm gonna slap police siren in your defense instinct. And he's all like, I'm thinking about police sirens now. I don't like this. I'm not gonna be so pervy anymore.
Wee woo, wee woo. Okay, that's wow. Oh, so on the one hand, I thought to myself, "Ooh, this is a little Tryhard." On the other hand, I'm like, "Oh man, wow, no, ow, that
Let's see here.
It's a big.
No, there's some. Like, let me tell you right now, there are some. Okay, here's another one that made me go oof. Let's see here. Akihiro Hayasaka, year 1 class run. Trauma, double suicide threat. Wants to die, but doesn't want to die alone. Desires to have someone to die with. Find someone who will help to find the best way to die. Identify someone with the same gender with suicidal ideation. Luckily, when you resolve that one, they actually found out, oh, I actually found a friend. I don't actually want to die. So,
right,
you know,
you build mutual contact first, but then it's like, oh wait, shit, support systems. But still, goddamn, wow.
Let's see here. Yohei Shimada, year 1 class 4. Forceful happiness. Pushes other people to be happy. Can't be too pushy, so people prefer to keep a distance. Learn how to maintain a healthy space with peers. Equip borderline and silence. Let's see here.
I mean, so we'll say this. The anime really was this kind of pretentious about psychological stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the main character rambled about psychology a lot, which on the one hand was cool, on the other hand was really pretentious. But this is just hot damn, wow.
Yeah, Yuichi Hirabayashi, year 1 class 6. Partisanship. Suffers from being helplessly attracted to the body and clothing of opposite sex. Find something that will satisfy this desire once and for all. Find the luxurious fetish scrapbook in the library.
Of course, you gotta find him some porn, dude.
Yeah.
Yo, let me hook you up.
Like, let's see here.
I gotta be honest, after a point, this was probably just a huge pain in the butt for people to, like, design, right? Like, somebody had to make all these.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there was a lot of
it's 524 fucking people! Like, here we go. Taishi Moriyama, year 2, class 1, love aversion. Intrinsically fears love and therefore is unable to fall in love. Wishes deep down for someone to love. Fall in love with a hopeless romantic. Meet someone of the opposite sex with a love addiction. Like, some of these, like, are really fucking wholesome. Like, alright, cool, yeah, you help them. But some of them are like, okay, I just put two bad people together, now they're worse together. Like,
but they're your friend now.
They'll
fight
like,
for
there are people with sadism. You have to find them a masochist of the opposite gender.
Of course you do.
Okay.
That's well, yeah. Japan has a very weird understanding of S&M anyway.
Yeah,
that's very loaded for them in a weird way.
Oh, like, okay. Here's one that this is the first one that I found that maybe thought maybe solving these problems isn't the proper way. Shigeru Fukari of year 2, class 2 has the trauma pathological lying. Convince self as a lovable person adored by all. A lack of confidence is to blame for the delusionary ego. Help restore a lost self-confidence. Equip both truth and confidence at the same time. When you do this, this person becomes utterly unable to tell a lie and tells no one but the hearth and brutal truth at all times. I'm like,
So you're gonna get the secret ending after you fix all these people, which is like, oh, you're really fucked up. Why would you do that? I don't know. I'm sure it's trippy.
Yeah, like on one hand, like, this is like, what, like, seeing me solve, because, like, here's the thing. Solving these traumas gets you, like, passive skills and stat boosts. And stat boosts. Which kind of hit me with the fact is, like, how hungry am I for power that I'm really willing to fuck people up? Which I think is, like, an interesting case when you especially think of video games and how like a video game main character usually acts. A video game main character usually does not act with like any real sense of like moral obligation. They usually do whatever side quests they're doing because there's gonna be a reward at the end and they fucking want it. And reasons be damned. And playing this game has kind of pushed that realization onto me. Like I'm because I am helping some people. Some people are having healthier lives. Oh god, there is one that fucking sleep like actually kind of made me depressed. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but there's this girl that you meet, you talk to her, and she's having problems. Like she keeps hearing voices, and she doesn't feel like she's gonna be herself anymore. And it tells you to go take her to this thing called the Hive Mind. You do so, and it turns out that she has been choosing to give up all individuality and join this collective consciousness, and will completely delete herself as she joins. And her last moments are her screaming about how she doesn't want to forget you. And I'm like, I just fucking did that. Why did I do that? Whoops. And I'm just like, so, I'm gonna say, yeah, like, the psychological aspect of this game is real tryhard, but it's tryhard enough to make you stop and go, whoa, at the same time. Because here's the thing, everyone in Mobius, which is the name of the imaginary world, everyone is unhappy for some reason. Like, just like for whatever reason, they have some deep-seated trauma that is keeping them from, being happy in the real world. Like, there are no happy... No, it wasn't a cult, it was actually a fucking hive mind, Axe.
Well, yeah, you're all digital consciousness at this point, anyway.
Let's see here. So, it's like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, there's really weird, like, other ones, like, let's see here. Mega Rifiora of Year 3 Class 2 is an impulsive fraudster. Is tempted by the strong impulse to cheat and lie. This urge can't be helped, is inconvenienced by this deceptive nature. Make a friend who would co-benefit from this deceitful nature. Be in a relationship with someone of the opposite sex who is a tragic heroine. I'm just like, and you get them together and they're both happy because they can both lie to each other and not be hurt by it. But I'm like, is this healthy? Like, it's like, is this, like, what is this? I know this is just like a video game, but like at the same time, I'm just like, what are the implications of this action that has just been taken? And, like I said, I find this both to be a pro and a con of the game. As I said, it's try-hard psychological bullshit, but at the same time, it makes you fucking think. Which I think is a very something important that, especially with modern media, is it doesn't quite necessarily matter if something is good or bad, but rather how much you enjoyed it, and how much it makes you think. Ax, I'm just gonna ignore you for a bit.
Yeah, I'm nodding.
Because, as I said, because I said, this is just like the 424 regular ass student. Their traumas are just literally, you slap a quick solution on it, you see the results of your action, and you go about your day. How much that affects you, depends on the fucking person. Because then, you get through your 24, well, actually, I think the Go Home Club is included in this number as well. But you have your, Go Home Club, and they have 9 levels of, relationship. And basically, every level, you talk to them, they go through, through a little, mini story with them, and you find out, what the problem is. I really, honestly, playing this game has given me some crazy ideas for, psychological shit to throw at people. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh. So, one of your main characters is, Kotaro, Tomoe. He looks like an 18-year-old kid, and I guess I'll spoil it. But he looks like an 18-year-old kid, but he's actually a middle schooler. And he has a messiah complex. Helps others to feel needed and validate his self-worth, to test his own powerlessness in real life. And you're listening to the kid, and you trying to figure out why he's trying to help people so much. And it's because his family was rescue workers, and they died. And when he was taken in by his other family, he wanted so desperately to be accepted that he, tried doing his best, but it didn't fucking work. They wouldn't recognize him. And, his cousin fucking hated him regardless. So it's just something that spiraled out of control. It's and you just start learning about these things, and you're just like, oh my god. It's some people would say, these characters are, boring, cliched, and underdeveloped, but, again, it's what you get out of it, because there are probably, this might be a video game, but there are probably actual people out there who are, dealing with these kind of things. And, might not have, a person close to them who can just be like, yeah, no, man, you're cool. And just spiraling. There is a girl, Naruko Morita. Internet addiction disorder. Fearing isolation, she clears to virtual connections, believing online leaks are the only ones that matter. Basically, this is a girl who's attached to her phone, has to take pictures of everything, post it. Religiously follows her, I guess I'll just use Twitter account. Tries to do everything to, be, more internet popular. And when you call that out on her, she breaks down. There's a lot of fucking breaking down in this game of characters. Once you hit, like I said, there's 9 levels to their interactions. When you hit level 6, they do this nice effect where it's the character model kind of glitches and it says, do you want to dive deeper? And, you have to hit yes, and he's like, are you sure you want to dive deeper? And, you're like, yes, I do. Let me know. And they will unload on you, these problems. And as I'm a person, I empathize with inanimate objects. I'm one of those people. This is why I can get so excited about fucking, 2D pinges on the phone, So, having these characters, bare their hearts, even if it's a fucking game, it fucking gets to you. Who was it? Koto no Kashiwaba, beautiful young girl, actually a 22-year-old mother with a 4-year-old son. But, she basically went into Mobius, 2 years ago, and her mother has been taking care of her son for the past 2 years, and she feels like absolute shit for it. But she's trying not to let anyone see it. Her trauma is Cinderella complex. Realizes a fairy tale ending isn't waiting for her, has given up on relying on others. And it's just I can't say these characters are fucking Oscar written characters, but it still gets to you. It really does. So, I become invested in trying to help them and get them home. Now, here is where I'm gonna do a slight pivot, because here's something that the Caligula Effect Overdose did that was different from the original game. In Overdose, they give you the option to join the musicians, which is the enemy faction. Basically, what you do is at a certain point, the main leader gives you the option to see the story from the other side. And me, being a madman, been like, yeah, I'll do it. And you become lucid, which is oddly fitting for a character trapped in the dream world. And you start interacting with all the villains. Now, here's something that I wish games and most media did more often, is shown villains in their more everyday life. Because after, as I said, I've gone this whole thing, because the way that the game handles it is, the enemy leader who invited you says, basically said, it's I will not tell the other musicians who you really are, but you can't, tell the Go Home Club members anything else. Basically, you play, you're basically playing both sides. And I'm, some people would, get on their moral high horse and be like, how dare you, be a fucking double, triple, quadruple fucking agent, or, be the fucking third side. But one of my big things is, it's I don't consider myself a good person. I really don't. I consider myself an okay and a decent person, but I've done some shit that, I have regrets that I am ashamed of, that, that if I did not maybe try to believe in a villain and maybe what they do, or at least try to empathize with them, I don't feel like anyone should be able to empathize with me and what I've done. It's like, people do bad things for a reason. And if you don't try to understand that reason, I think you might just be worse than the actual villain. And Caligula Effect Overflows actually let me do that. They actually let me go onto the enemy side, do the same fucking thing with the musicians as I did with the Go Home Club, and figure out their traumas and what makes them fucking tick. Like, they actually added a couple characters, but one of my favorites is a character named Stork. He's a fucking motherfucking peeping Tom. That makes it his fucking life. It is his greatest fucking joy to fucking peep on girls and see them in their most secret moments. Something that is completely and utterly, bad, illegal. But you start to talk to him, and you realize, the reason why he's that way is because he led a very, what's the word I want to use? Restricted lifestyle. His mother was one of those helicopter parents that wouldn't even look at a girl. Like, if he so much as saw a fucking titty, he would got the shit beat out of him and had the demons exercise out of him. It wasn't until he was, got into high school that, he got indoctrinated to that. And basically all that stuff just came out at once. And, it just spiraled out of control from there. But even though he was spiraling out of control, just because he thought it'd be the ultimate thrill, this peeping Tom became a fucking police officer. And he was a loyal and trusted police officer, one of beloved in his neighborhood. So literally by day, top percent police officer, by night, he was Peep Man. He actually said that. He was Peep Man. He actually made a costume for it and would go around in the night doing that. And his problem
that's some deep-seated shit right there. That guy needs to sit on your couch.
Yeah. But here's the crazy thing. But he suffered his trauma when he saw someone set fire to someone's house and didn't do anything about it because he was Peep Man. He would have been caught himself. And it fucking haunted him because the people who died in that fire were people who, he said hi to him every single fucking day. And that shit fucking haunted him, which is why he ran away and is now in The Musician. Because he doesn't want to go back to that.
Right, because he, with my armchair psychology, he's come up with the divided life thing worked because it let him basically compartmentalize, which is the thing some people do, is they put their psychological shit in different boxes and that's how they live with it. Because he has to deal with his dayman life of, I'm a respected or functional member of society, and then his nightman life is, that's his deep repression coming out, right? Because you have to. Yeah. That's a whole different thing about proper psychological outlets and stuff. And then the trauma, which makes sense because that's his breakpoint, is when he has to juxtapose the two when they're in direct conflict. It's but wait, I'm a productive member of society. I should say something. But wait, I'm also a shitty pervert man, and if I say anything, not only will I be caught, but my whole self-image will come crashing down. So it's that's a deep cut. That's the shit that makes you reorganize your life, and some people are going to respond to that by going, nope! Because the human mind is very resilient, by which it means it's very good at dealing with your problems by not dealing with them.
Yeah.
Seriously, every single psychological thing that's weird about your life, that's weird about my life, that's weird about Lucky's life, is because of some kind of psychological stimulus, emotional, physical, purely mental, whatever you want to have it, and then just how your brain literally grew to deal with whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to think about stuff in my life, why I give so much of a shit about this, why I don't give a shit about that, it's now if I think about it hard and if I can kind of explain why this has a psychological tension, right? Why there's a tension and there's a breakpoint, and then you have good stress and bad stress and lots of other psychology stuff.
Yeah. And
which this game appears to be 100% psychology stuff. Let me make that 110%.
Yeah. As you talk to Stork, you talk to this guy and he's supposed to be this evil villain, and no, he's actually a pretty fucking cool dude. I love talking to him. He's just positive energy and stuff, but as you get through this and you break down his trauma and you let him realize no, what you did was bam, and you should actually own up to that, and you get through to him, he's like, yeah, I should. And I'm like, if I get back to the real world, I'm not gonna be Pete Man. I'm not gonna be a police officer. I'm gonna be a normal person. I'm gonna turn myself in because it was the right fucking thing to do. Because and like a lot of the characters like that, like Omega, you probably remember this because you remember Sweet Pea, the girl, like one of the first bosses who was like the cute girl, but who was actually a fat old man.
Yes.
Again, one of my favorite fucking characters because actually let me pull up Sweet Pea here.
So yeah, I remember because there were a couple of guys and gals who were kind of in it. There was, I don't remember what her pseudonym was, but there's the rich bitch girl who's not really that rich.
Yeah.
And then there's
so Sweet Pea, who's actually
Ikemen P, who's a pretty boy, but he's not a pretty boy. He's pretty normal in real life, and girls don't pay attention to him.
Yeah. Sweet Pea is actually a director of as a 31-year-old man who is the director of a security firm who relieves the stress by cute things and overeating. Their trauma is transvestitism.
That's got to be a minefield in Japan.
Yeah. But basically, all this guy wanted to do was be able to, have cute things and not be made fun of it, and just could not have it. So would fucking stress eat about it, and just get more unattractive, and it'd just be a fucking vicious cycle. So
that makes sense.
That's why
That's like, if you want to talk about deep-seated, like, gender coding and gender identity issues, that's a whole thing where, like, that was Kanji's big thing in Persona 4, was like,
yeah.
I am a tough delinquent dude, but also my mother runs the textile store, and I know lots of shit about, like, sewing and cooking and stuff, and that makes girls think I'm weird, because I'm not manly, but I'm super manly. Fuck you. I'll hit you with a chair. I'll fight all of you. I'm gonna renovate your ass. I love Kanji so much.
Yeah, but, as you, talk to her and stuff, her, because, you realize that, yeah, they're just suffering in their own way, but, you talk to them, you kind of help them, guide them, and, eventually realizes, just because I'm the way I am doesn't mean I can't enjoy cute things. If I get back to the real world, I'm gonna do what I want, and, I'll start working on my way so I can enjoy my life more. And so it's I really and all the, all the villains are like that, believe it or not, except for, the main person, Thorn, who I'm pretty sure I am not gonna enjoy if I remember what I was of the anime. All the fucking, other musicians are kind of fucking endearing in their own way.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if Thorn's the one I'm thinking of. There's one of the musicians who's kind of the one who's behind it all seems like they're the real asshole here.
Yeah.
All the other musicians are just they're the ones that they kind of picked to run the madhouse, basically. But
yeah,
fundamentally, they're still just as fucked up as everybody. But
they're just on the opposite side.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Thorn seemed like they were the one directing this shit deliberately, possibly maliciously.
Yeah.
Though it's been a long fucking time since I watched that anime.
Yeah. So, again, being, I really appreciate that they were able to actually let me get on the villains. Because I'm pretty sure this is how you actually get for the true ending, is you get everyone to be like, yeah, let's go home. Even the fucking, bad guys. Because, let me tell you right now, I have resolved all the fucking villain traumas, and I've only solved, fucking, 2 of the go-home traumas. I'm kind of, as I said, I was kind of invested in the villain stories. Shonen Doll, the guy who, also, let me also mention this. It is, if you it's actually really fucking funny. I laughed so much, listening to it. Shonen Doll, who was the character who, basically hid in the library.
Oh yeah, that really creepy, traumatic library where people were dolls. Yeah, and it was very upsetting.
Yeah. Once you get to him, you just find out, he's just the stock standard Hikikomori cancer. But you basically get him to start talking to one of the Go Home Club members, and he's kind of fucking adorable about it. At one point,
that was in the anime. That was the whole thing, was right where they were kind of friends or pretending, and they were both, but they kind of juxtaposed. You know?
They were both kind of loners, but what was her name here? Susanoo, like, asked, like, maybe one day they can have, if he doesn't want to be lonely, maybe one day they could have lunch together, and Shonen Doll was like, what? But it's kind of funny, because immediately after that, Stork, drags, because basically, after you get done with the map, basically, you switch over to the enemy side, and you have to put a halt in the progress that the Go Home Club is coming, so you can kind of maintain this balance of power. And so you basically get to party up with the musicians and, go fuck up your Go Home Club friends.
And they never ask, hey, the boss, where were you?
And you just make up like, some excuse. It's like, I got lost. I stayed in the bath too long. No, I was totally there. And they just buy it. They just buy it. I'm like, you guys are dumb.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's my immediate thought would be, why don't they ask where you were?
It's like, this mysterious enemy just showed up, who wields dual guns just like, the leader does, like, identical, just came up and just kicked everyone's ass, like the leader usually kicked ass on the musicians, and no one questions this. But you know what? It's fine, whatever. But so...
I don't know if that would be I don't know if that would probably be like a bad end, or like their version of the Persona Valentine scene, where both teammates realize you've been double teaming them, and you've been basically kicking the shit out of both of them all the time. And they're like, "It was you."
I haven't actually beat the game, so I don't know how it's gonna end.
That's because I hope maybe they reference that at least at some point.
Yeah,
because that would be hilarious for them both to realize. Wait, you were the guy who kept beating us up on both sides? Yeah, why not?
I really do actually want that, but like as I said, like I don't want to necessarily call it a double agent, because the way I'm treating this is like, I'm not on either of these guys' sides. I'm on my own side. I have my own agenda. That's to get. I remember there is a part when someone's asked me, what do I want to do? And once someone wanted, like, I want to get home. Another option was I don't know, and the third option was save everybody. And that's the option I picked, because that's the thing I feel. It's like, I don't just want to save the Go Home Club. I want to save the musicians. I want to save fucking everybody here. I want to get everybody out.
So this is a good question. Now that like I said, I don't really remember, and I'm not sure I watched the last couple episodes of the anime, because it got really weird and confusing at the end, and they were probably going to finish it in a movie later or something.
Yeah.
Or some bullshit. I don't remember. The anime was really confusing at the end. I felt like, though, it was projecting a special relationship between the player character protagonist and Mu. Does that come out in the game at all?
No, actually, here's the weird thing, because actually at the beginning of the game, you actually get to kind of define what your trauma was that got you stuck here.
Ooh, that's cool. That explains why it was so weird and ambiguous in the anime.
Yeah. But, in the anime, they reference, I don't know if that's canon or not. I said I haven't beat the game, so I don't fucking know. But, yeah, so basically, once I start seeing things on the musician side, I'm like, I can't remember off the top of my head, actually, what I picked. It was basically, I think it was something of I didn't belong, and I regret, my actions, something like that. Because it's true. But, yeah, so being on the villain side has definitely put me into this third-party perspective of, I understand these guys and why they want to go home. I also understand these guys and why they want to stay, but I'm going to try to resolve everything, and I'm just going to have to kick everyone's ass to do it.
And then okay with that. You's going to wake up and be like, but their happiness, and you're going to be like, yo, girl, let me tell you about your deep-seated psychological issues and why you can't save everyone, but I can save everyone.
Yeah. Because main protagonist power. I got talk no jutsu, motherfuckers.
Because I am the Jesus analog here, not you. I am the second coming of Christ. Oh, wait, no, that was Persona 3? Sorry, hold on. Forgot what game I was in.
So, oh yeah, I was talking about fucking Shonen Doll. So basically, immediately after you do the library, and they kind of like, yeah, we're gonna have lunch. Stork fucking goes, because they introduced a couple, because Stork, they introduced in this bonus, in this new game, they introduced 2 new Go Home Club members and 2 new musicians. That's Stork and Kuchinashi, and then Eiji and Ayana. And, they did an awesome job, everyone. They also added, a couple extra, maps, and one of them is a fucking hot spring, land. That kind of looks like a red, district. It's kind of cool. But you have to go there with Stork
Audience,
and
if you didn't hear the shit, I can't remember. Was it the if you guys didn't, if audience you didn't hear Risei's dungeon theme just then, you suck. Or possibly the Hot Springs theme.
Yeah,
both of those work.
But you go there and Stork is gonna do his thing. He's gonna go fucking peep. But Shonen Doll gets dragged around with them and accidentally comes across the girl he was into bathing, and he's all like, "No!" He's like literally screaming at Stork to stop.
Yamete!
It's kind of fucking hilarious. And the rest of your fucking interaction with him is trying to fix that misunderstanding. And it's actually real easy. All you have to do is get him to message her, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah," and she'd just be like, "Yeah, I know it was you were trying to help me. Thank you for that." And he's just like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "This is too fucking precious. Why is it like?"
So Lucky, I have a very important question for you right now.
What's up?
How's the music?
Oh, like here's the crazy thing. Okay, so personally, I think the music's really good. Every musician has a theme that plays when you does, and when you're on the field, it plays no lyrics. But when you're in a battle, Mew adds her lyrics to it. The only problem is it seems to loop like the same fucking 15 seconds constantly. I'm like,
oh, that's kind of sad. I was something I did notice that they did. They had a couple of pretty interesting themes in the anime, and where they did the thing right where like they played Mew's songs instrumental, and then she'd bust out with lyrics when things got real, and I was like, "That's cool."
No, like I've actually like looked into the songs. The actual songs are really good, and all the boss themes are remixes of their theme.
Of course it is,
because cool.
There's a lot of music symbolism in this, obviously.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing: as Lucid, you get your own fucking musician theme too, and it's fucking baller.
Yes, of course you do. Perfect. Why wouldn't you? Well, honestly, because I believe that's you said earlier, but I also read this. That's a re-release only thing. That's only in the Overdose version. Yeah. If I was a player of the original game, I would be disappointed if I got to be the villains with the cool themes and they're like, "Oh, you don't get your own theme song." I'd be like, "Excuse me, what?" Oh no, we're stopping this right now. I'm not going anywhere until you give me my own badass music.
Well, actually, you make it. You make because that's the thing. All the musicians made their own theme song. So basically, when you get to their base, Thorn says, "All right, make your theme, make it," and Thorn's like, "What is this?" And apparently, they don't really reference as much, but all the musicians have like a rankings chart, and apparently, you just shot to number 1 like immediately with your theme. So you are literally like the fucking like coming of Christ in this game. You are literally absolute power for some odd fucking reason.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really interested for you to report on this, and you got it on Switch, right?
Yeah,
I think I'll probably do that too, because that seems like an easy kind of. That seems like a good game for Switch to be like. It's not super graphically intense. You don't need a lot of stuff. Just pop it in. You can play it on your TV, or you can pop it out and play it while you lay in bed and watch TV.
Like here's a problem I have with the game. Another problem. Aside from even the fucking main characters suffer from this. All 524 characters are wearing the same goddamn uniform.
Because of course
which is these gray top and black like skirt or slacks.
Right? They're in school.
All the NPCs that are not in school are wearing a school uniform. There is literally no diversity.
I think. Well, I mean, it is Japan.
There's literally no diversity in the character models.
I feel like that could be another one of those psychological deep cuts. Well, but also, it could just be that all the development budget went into the causality map and didn't go to the modeling department. R.I.P.
Yeah, like there's some differentiations with like accessories and hair, but that's about it.
Yes, we downloaded a model pack off the internet, and we only got 5 hairstyle assets.
Yeah,
and we only have $5 left to buy accessories assets. Because there are literally modeling programs that are like that, right? Where you get the software and then you buy the rights to asset packs.
I wonder if I can. Actually, later I'm gonna link. I'll go into our music channel and I'll link some of this Caligula music because. Some of it I really do enjoy. Yeah, when it's
appropriate, because this episode will come out sometime. Not anytime soon, because it's 10 o'clock at night and we got 2 hours of recording and it's a WhatsApp, so it'll be processing for overnight.
Yeah,
but
Okay,
Yeah.
so
And yeah, we're at
I guess I
2:15.
talked
So
enough about like links and stuff. The UI of the game severely lacking. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay,
because it was designed for a tiny screen in your lap the size of a postage stamp. Not really, but
okay, so you basically when you get someone, you talk to someone, they get added to your wire. All right. So you can have up to potentially 424 people here. Do you know how many ways there are to sort them? There is class ascending order, class descending order, affinity rank ascending order, affinity rank descending order. That's fucking it. That is the only way you can sort these names.
wait, hold on. There's not an alphabetical.
There's not an alphabetical.
All right,
that
you've pre-nettled me. I'm already nettled.
I am constantly fucking nettled at this every single fucking day.
Maybe it's because we didn't go to Japanese high school, but still, that's just like that doesn't sound right. I'm sorry. I know that's my library volunteer years speaking, but like I'm just like that's not right. That's not right. That's not how you do that.
No. So like on the like they have a little few gimmicks. Like if you talk to someone and then you open up your menu and go to the Kazali map, you'll go straight to that one person. You can like get to the map and all the things, but it's like really hard to find fucking people like when you want them. Like how I do the fucking trauma quest is I literally complete a map. Oh, hang on, I might have to sneeze here.
Go for it.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
I complete a map and I start from class 1-1, very top, and I just go down the list one by one and try to resolve as many fucking quests as I can, so I don't have to worry about it when I have more fucking people on this list.
Oh my.
Now, this becomes a fucking problem when I have to look for someone with a specific trauma and a specific gender. I'm just like, wait, who is this I know I have someone, I know I have someone with this fucking gender and fucking, trauma. Where the fuck are they?
Yeah, obviously I'm sure that the Vita probably was not up to making like a trait searchable database or whatever. Yeah, so that I feel is probably like fundamentally they could not overhaul that code, which is a shame.
Like again, like overall, I really like this game. I really do. It makes me think. I enjoy playing it. I just really wish that whenever they had pitched it, they had got a budget for a full like console release with all the fucking.
Well, yeah, I don't know. They probably had a budget for it. The problem is that there are a lot of really good niche RPGs and other type of these games that are like really long, super engaging that are on the Vita because one, Sony was pushing it really hard, but clearly when they were paying for these titles or they were negotiating these titles, it was like, oh yeah, no, we need you to put this on Vita, and that was like the emphasis. Because obviously, the thing is, in Japan, the Vita was super successful because I've made the jokes about being on the subway, being on the bus. Like, they have a whole culture, they have an urban culture and stuff about this. They've got a big market for it. In the States, it didn't go over so well because, A, they were Sony, but also just, we have different gaming attitudes. It's like how we don't take mobile games seriously here.
Yeah.
Until the Switch, because the Switch jumped the gap in the US, because it's like, it's mobile, but also, it's a console. Even though the console part is literally a plastic stand with a couple of ports for your fucking cords. That's it. It's a converter for your AC and your HDMI cables. Not that I'm shit-talking the Switch, but, like, I love it a lot, but it's just, it's really weird how that's clearly clicked in the public ethos in the West, and really works. When, by all accounts, the Vita was not a bad platform, it just didn't hit over here.
Even so, it's like, I said, I kind of wish this game had got a bigger budget. Because, like, there's a lot of things that are potential, like, also, I kind of wish they kind of scaled down on the fucking so many fucking goddamn students, excuse me.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, it sounds like a passion project. Like, yeah. The director was clearly like, yo, we need to model a whole school worth of students with the statistically appropriate amount of classes and people in each class, and, like, that's our whole thing. That's our gimmick. And then the writers, shoved him out a window, but because he was clearly too insane, he survived the fall, climbed up those stairs, and was like, okay, but seriously, we're writing 512 of these.
Now, everyone gets a trauma. Everyone. And I'll make them all playable, too. All of them!
Yeah, so it's like that was very much like probably a small number of devs were like, "Oh, this will be the coolest. We're gonna do this. It'll be such a deep take, such a hot take on our society and our kids these days and our audience, and it's gonna resonate super hard. It'll resonate with everybody." And it probably does, but also, holy shit, that's a lot of resources. You guys are lunatics.
Actually, let me see here. Caligula Effect. Sale. Let me see if I can actually find...
Well, it got remastered. Now, obviously, some of that is just Sony realizes they had good properties that were doomed to die by the Vita. High Valkyria Chronicles sequels. Dear Sega, me and Lucky both bought VC4, and lots of people bought VC4, I'm pretty sure. So, could you do a 2 and 3 remaster bundle on the PS4, maybe?
Okay, so...
Just saying.
Let's see here. Reception... So, crazy enough, it got good scores in fucking, Japan, but poor scores in the West.
Oh, gee, I wonder why. Why the fuck?
But it was the second best selling video game in Japan during the episode in Japan during its opening week, with 30,000 copies sold. During its second week, it dropped down to 11th place with, 7,000 copies.
Yeah,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, let's see here, it's literally, I'm just looking at the wiki right here. Destructoid gave it a 4 out of 10. Famitsu gave it a 30 out of 40. Fucking...
No, I'm thinking that sounds perfectly right. This is a very Japanese game. It deals with psychology in a very Japanese way. It has a very Japanese setting that, the way we do high school and stuff is a little bit different than they do it in Japan, and we have a lot of different assumptions. And I'm sure that people were... when did the original one come out?
The original came out... Let me see here.
I'm gonna be a little bit cynical, but I'm gonna judge the wokeness of the Western audience.
2016. June 23rd.
Yeah, that's still recent enough that some of those reviewers could have been pretty woke, and they would interpret the stuff that you were like, man, that makes me really think about my life. It's like, oh my god, they're teaching kids bad lessons about psychological enabling. 1 out of 10. And don't you guys fucking at me. There are reviewers like that.
Let me see here.
So I don't know. I'm not gonna wholly blame that. That's why. I also think it could just be because it was very niche, and like we said, it's very, very Psych 101 heady.
As I said, I'm not gonna say I do not have degrees in sociology or psychology, but I do enjoy understanding the human mind and human behavior. So maybe something like that is why it clicked with me in particular, as I see, I said, it's all simulated, but still, people's relationships, people's traumas, and dealing with those traumas and stuff, and me being a part of that fucking resounds with me. That is something that is, in my wheelhouse.
Oh yeah, no. So, I always have great fun in that, in other stuff. That's always a big Persona key aspect, is talking to people and figuring out what the correct thing to say to them is.
Oh,
and hopefully I can apply that skill to my real life.
Interesting thing in Caligula I should mention. They kind of do the same thing where if you say the wrong thing, you will literally get an X and you won't be able to continue down that story path anymore. But you can pay 50 of your skill points to basically do a reset and try again. So hoarding skill points might be good. I think I've spent 200 skill points redoing my answers because I said the wrong thing, which I think was interesting. Because as I've realized, when you take, as I say, because you can gather up skill points from grinding with the normies, as it were. Oh yeah, they actually explained the reason why everyone looks the fucking same is because the main characters have realized that this is not a real world, and it has altered your perception, and something like that. I don't know.
By the way, Amazon sent me an email. They want me to buy more Switch games.
Of course they did. Let's see, what else do I have to say about this game?
Well, if you want to talk about other games, you might have to pick this up, because we're at 220 right now.
No, I think I can just keep talking about Caligula Effect. I also got Devil May Cry 5, but honestly, I don't think I really need to talk about that much.
All right, that's fair. You said you were gonna have DMC thoughts.
Yeah, I can have those
Sure.
another day.
Okay.
But like honestly, like in good conscience, I can't really recommend the Caligula Effect to many people because I feel like you have to be in like someone who's in like my particular mindset to enjoy it. Someone who like really isn't really concerned whether a good game is good, like quote unquote good or bad, but and is interested in psychology and sociology. Like you're saying, it's definitely a niche game.
Yeah, I think I for instance would probably enjoy this game because I do like that stuff. I like character studies, and I think I like the idea of like getting in there and figuring out people's problems and seeing kind of like how that plays out. And also like the mechanics do sound, kind of interesting. So I'll probably pick it up at some point for cheap.
Yeah,
on the physical.
Yeah, if you can get it on sale, if you can get it on sale, like I would definitely say, yeah, fucking get it. I think you enjoy it, but also you're gonna be. I can guarantee you right now, Omega, you're gonna be eternally nettled. Just by
organization is a pet peeve of mine. Lucky knows for a fact, but the audience, everybody should know. I love tables and I love bulleted lists. So
yes, he does.
I've joked about that before. It's been a long time since I had to talk about my deep-seated love of tables. But yeah, no. So that probably, if we want to talk about armchair psychology, that probably really is the library years, because I spent a couple years volunteering once a week in my local library for scholarship credit as community service. You organize a lot of shit. You alphabetize, and you straighten shelves a lot. So, it's definitely a thing where I'm like, I'm not like OCD, but there's definitely a certain note where I'm like, this could actually be organized. Why isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And like, you're gonna be dealing with here's the other thing that really bugs me about the Caligula Effect. And it's weird because it's not something that I don't know, maybe I haven't reached into, but every class, actually, let me get out of this battle here so I can fucking talk about it. Every class has an event going on in it that's only alluded to in their flavor text. So I need to get out of this fucking battle so I can fucking talk about it. But like, I think it was in class 1.
Whoops. By the way, Lucky, we wouldn't have done anything because I was tired. But I just double-checked our business email. And apparently yesterday was #ShareYourStudio from Patreon.
Oh. Yeah.
So, whoops. You can actually look on our Twitters. We've taken pictures of our setups before. But missed that social media push. That's because I didn't see any of the creators I follow do anything about it.
It's always #something day.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, now I can. All right. Charlie Link, where is it? Okay. What class? Okay, class 1-1. Its overall theme is murdered girl. There is a girl who is basically murdered in this class, and you basically you start unlocking secrets, and you start finding out things about people like the girl's best friend, someone knows who the actual murderer is. Someone is lying about who the murderer is. Someone is trying to pin the blame on someone else. I'm like, what is going on here? One of the girl's secret is he actually bullied the girl out of jealousy and is trying to get everyone to forget about her. I'm like there's a fucking story here, and I don't know what's going on, and this upsets me. Because, one person, once you find out the secret, you find out that this person was actually the murdered girl's, older brother, and, has kissed her on the cheek before. Yet is someone who is oddly aggressive and stuff, and it's what are some other ones in here that I've figured out?
Well, for me, that just sounds great because y'all know how much I love solving mysteries.
Yeah,
me and the Scooby Gang.
Yeah, so
all about those mysteries.
I'm hoping once I unlock the whole set, I'll get the complete story. But I kind of wish that this was actually a mini quest that you can actually deal with in game, because aside from the fucking interacting with the club members of whatever side, there's no side con. There's literally none. It's either you hang out with the club members, or you go solve traumas by various dubious means, or you can continue on with the main story. So I'm just it's a lot of content, but at the same time, it's not a lot of content. It's weird. There's a lot of duality going on in this game. And okay. Oh, and one last thing. I guess I should say. I was talking about how the evil, like the villains and stuff, aren't actually bad people. Well, I'm gonna spoil this for you, Omega, because I think you'll see it coming a fucking mile away. But you quickly realize that one of your own Go Home Club members is not a good person. Let's see here. I'm not gonna name names, but
because I did a little bit of reading about the game when we did the anime. I think I might get what you mean.
Well, actually, no. That person hasn't shown up at all, and I'm kind of wondering if that was just an anime-only thing.
Oh, because in the anime there was a character, and I think I read about this. There is somebody who was also pulling what you said you can do in the remake, which was they were very clearly on both sides, or they defected.
Yeah,
out of nowhere too. I think in the anime they were just like, but your character design was on the other team last episode. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Because the anime was very bad. Let's be real. Structure-wise, the anime was not made well. It was confusing as fuck. It jumped around from plot point to plot point.
The animation was great because it probably did exactly what they wanted them to do. Make you want to play the fucking game.
No, it worked. As marketing, it worked.
Yeah. So, the character who is on your side is psychopathy. Follow your own sovereign law, independent from society. Take advantage of whomever you want.
Oh,
secret?
Great.
Yeah.
Joy.
Yeah, that's someone who's on your side. And you're just like, oh. Luckily, once you figure this out, you can kill him to GTFO. And, it has to do with, like, other characters in here and stuff. And it's just like again, like, this game is a fucking roller coaster ride of emotion. Because, again, like, a lot of times when you gather your Scooby-Doo gang, everyone is a quote-unquote good person just like you. But, like, in real life, you're, like, even if you have, like, the same goals, because the character wants to get out and get back to the real world for, reasons I don't want to get into because I don't want to, like, fully spoil this for you.
I'm sure it's because he's a highly functioning sociopath. Or psychopath.
Psychopath. And, like, he needs shit to get done. So, yeah, his goals technically align with you, but you start realizing that his methods are completely fucking different. And
because he's a psychopath. Makes perfect sense. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna jump on your boat out of here and use you to escape.
Yeah, and like, this is the thing that actually makes me upset is, this character is actually connected to another character who are connected, because there's 4 new characters, and they're all connected together in the same fucking story. And basically, so as you progress again through all of their stories, you get this bigger picture of what the fuck just happened. And you're like, why? Why is shit so sad? Like, once I got to the bottom of this, like, I'm like, you just feel like one of the villains, you just want to hug her and head pat her. Like, I'm so sorry this happened to you, girl. Like, Omega, I do want you to, like, play this, and...
Yeah, I'm sure I will at some point, like I said. I'm just not made of money. There's a lot of games that are coming out lately we gotta, figure out.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's Caligula Effect. Like, next week I'll probably have more on it, because I won't have 3 houses yet, and I won't be sucked into that, black hole. But as I said, like, I put in, like, 46 hours now, and I'm gonna put in more. I'm almost to the end, I think. I think I only have, like, 1 more new dungeon to get to, and, like, I've been solving everyone's traumas and stuff, so we're gearing up for the finale. So, actually, maybe by, this week's, What's Up, I'll have something more to tell y'all. And that'd be nice.
No, Axe is like, people should hug more, and I'm like, no. No hugs.
No, Lucky has no furry time because I've been doing odd jobs because I'm broke. Reasons that I'll tell about Friday.
Yeah. But no, we're not. We got a whole big story. This isn't Let's Duck.
We got
this
a story.
Is What's Up.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a third episode in the Lucky Story saga, which has been very successful.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
Jump kick! But I think that's it for the Caligula Effect.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Well, not tomorrow, but in a little bit.
We're
not going to make Thursday a regular thing, I think.
Nah, it was just because, life happened.
It was just timing related because like stuff, like we missed some obvious stuff because of the recording on Thursday that I had to like sneak in a news video in the middle of the night, real quick. But yeah, so I will mention because it's been a while since we did it, but I'm mentioning now that we are decided that we are definitely not talking about case files on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That's just, we're not going to equivocate about it. We're just not. We'll do it at the end of Let's Take After You, like always.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, so to talk about my deep-seated psychological stuff, no, I'm not really a hugger. And somebody will probably say, oh, there's some terrible fucked up thing in my past. I don't get enough physical contact or whatever. Probably, but also, I don't know. I never was really big about the physical contact, the hugging, and the whatnot. It might be because my skin's kind of sensitive. Like, when I was younger, I couldn't go in like grass barefoot. It just like bothered my feet and legs so much. Now I'm covered in hair, so I'm shielded. But yeah, no. Omega is not like some weird pale hairless child. I'm big berry hair. I got to shave actually right now, because I didn't over the weekend. But yeah, no.
Lucky suffers from anxiety and depression, but also he's constantly horny on main, so there's a weird barrier.
Double standards. But yeah, so like I think that's just like it wasn't really a thing for me growing up that like, and I have quite a few siblings and cousins and whatnot. We just didn't feel the need to like hug it out a lot. So now hugs is like, no, that's a thing that it's not like I'm not super huggy. Like I think I told this joke once in Discord. I was like, you're not my sister and you're not my mama. I'm not hugging you. Like that's just.
I don't care who you are. I'll give you a hug. But if you get a lucky hug, I'm gonna bear hug you. I'm gonna pick you up. Even if you're like 300 pounds, I'll fucking do it. I've done it.
I'm pretty sure because we have established that you are quite a bit taller than I am. You could probably pull it off.
Yeah.
Even if I could stand to lose a few pounds.
Unless you have pre-communicated to me that you are not a touchy person, I will touch you.
Yeah. We've talked about this. I'm not a touchy person.
Yep. Lucky completely respects people's boundaries, but please establish them beforehand, otherwise I'm going to do something stupid.
I know, that's good. That's very important. Always establish your boundaries. Don't be like pissed off when people cross your boundaries if you didn't say them.
Yeah.
Because that's your fault. People are not psychic. We've just explored with talking about Caligula Effect. There's a whole fucking side quest that humans have to undertake to unpack your issues. So just, spell them out. Throw them out there. It's not magic.
Yeah, maybe you'll get fucking the second coming of Christ to come find you the most ill-opportune person to pair you up with to solve it. Oh my god! Yeah. This game is so Tryhard and I love it!
We're at about 2 hours and 40 minutes unedited. So, no, I'm not going to talk about that. That's a different discussion, X. That's a discussion for my non-existent therapist. But if I had one, now that I feel like I really need therapy, I don't have any, like, issues that are, like, stopping me in my daily life. But, that would definitely be, like, I could have some conversations about some stuff, but I don't think I really need to unpack them with anybody right now. But I'm a great listener, guys. If you guys need to unpack your stuff, we do have a couch in our thumbnail. But no, like, I think we should probably wind on down. If you're done with Caligula Effect, I don't really have any other things. Like, I mentioned it earlier, that, like, there's some TV stuff I want to watch but haven't got to.
Oh, God. Do we want to talk?
What? Just mention it.
We can wait. No, I went to go see Spiderman Far From Home last weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't have anything to contribute to that. I don't go to theaters.
Yeah, well, no, I was going to talk. I mean, we can bring up the whole, Sony versus Disney.
Yeah, we can just mention it. There's probably better news outlets. It's kind of interesting, because, like, at first people were, like, super upset, and they were like, because Spider-Man movies are really good. I haven't seen Far From Home yet, but Homecoming was pretty good. And so, like, Far From Home was, like, a huge, like, box office win for Sony, so, like, that, no, I understand why. On the other hand, it sounds like Disney kind of sidled up and was like, as opposed to their previous licensing agreement to, like, integrate Spider-Man back into the MCU, it was more like, hey, Sony, why don't you go 50-50 on us and give us 50% of the money? possibly not necessarily splitting any more of the cost to make the movies, to which Sony, as a business at least, made one of the right decisions and was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. That's not a good plan for us.
People talk shit about the Sony Spider-Man movies, but you gotta remember, in the moment,
that was the thing that was a very good comment in the news cycle I listened to. A story reported on this was like, yeah, so Sony acquired the rights like in the 80s when superhero movies sucked, and then they finally got it turned around. I think they actually technically got it like in the late 90s, but Marvel sold the rights in like the 80s, and they got kicked around for a while. And then they turned them into the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, which really opened the door. Like, if those hadn't come out, them and X-Men, we probably wouldn't have the modern supers genre, because they weren't great, but they weren't awful. They kind of opened up the door to be like, oh shit.
No, like, here's the thing. If you check the numbers, all three of the Tobey Maguire films were box office hits.
Oh no, they were huge successes at the time. And like...
At the time, yeah.
And like, critically, you could argue, especially with 3, like, okay, they kind of like, they let the trends get away from them a little bit, but they were a good effort. They tried. They had some really iconic scenes in them. Which Enter the Spider-Verse reference, and like, they opened the door for a lot of this shit. That like, oh, you can totally put comic book characters on the silver screen, which was, I'm sure, a hurdle. And some of the followers on didn't work. Daredevil, Elektra. Yeah. Though I have vivid memories of Colin Farrell as Bullseye. He was trying hard, kids.
Yeah, but like, even Amazing Spider-Man did really well. Amazing Spider-Man 2, not so well.
No, it's because that's the thing. Like, it's slightly better because of like internet reviews and like Screen for Critics and all that stuff. Like, it's getting coverage of a movie is really easy now, but you usually don't feel the pain of a bad movie on that movie. It's the next movie.
Yeah.
See Solo versus The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was really controversial, had very mixed responses. Not a lot of people necessarily liked the direction it went. And then 6 months later, Solo comes out and wasn't marketed at all because Disney didn't know what to do with it. And it was not a huge loss, but it was a bit of a bomb at the box office. Like, and it may or may not have made its marketing and reshoot money back. We don't know. It was still really good. I think I like Solo better than The Last Jedi just because it's tighter. Like, we've talked before about how Last Jedi is very swingy. You know, it cuts from sequences which are really good to just like, why did you waste 30 minutes of the movie on this part? It means nothing. And the unfortunate answer to that question is probably because the director wanted it to mean nothing, which is a little bit of a shame. Like, I'm not against artistic expression, I think I've said this before, but there are certain audience expectations in a Star Wars movie, and like, you can go like, but your expectations were subverted, but also, you're still making an on-brand movie. Like, I've talked about this before. I appreciate when you put stuff in a genre or a brand if it stays on theme, because if you're not going to do it on theme, make something else. Like, be original. But anyway, so like, I'm sure Amazing Spider-Man 1 was probably okay. Like, people were probably like, oh man, you're doing the origin story again. That's kind of weak. And it wasn't until the second one where they're like, wow, you guys are not... Like, everybody's enthusiasm for the first one was siphoned off, and they were like, there's no reason to go to the second one.
Yeah.
But no, primarily it seems like Disney was asking for a big cut of the money, despite the fact that Sony was still doing a decent chunk of the work. And also, like, a lot of people are like, oh, that's terrible about Tom Holland, who might still be employed, by the way. Like, it's not like he's out of a job. He might still be in Spider-Man movies. He's under contract for, like, 2 more, so... but also, I think it really underplays, Enter the Spider-Verse, which won Best Animated Picture. It probably beat a Disney movie to do that. Mm-hmm. It won an Oscar, okay? And it was really fucking good. We had a whole episode about it. And also, speaking of Sony handling the Spider-Man brand, hey, does everybody remember that Spider-Man game that Insomniac made? And Sony just bought Insomniac?
Yep.
And it's like the second best-selling game on the PlayStation 4. By the way, the best-selling is Uncharted 4. But
as it should be.
Spider-Man's only like 2 million copies behind that. Like, I think Uncharted 4 is like 15 million, and Spider-Man was like 13 million. God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn are tied for third at 10 million. But yeah, so like, no, it's... Sony is, in their own way, killing this brand, and like, if Disney was like, hey, we're big dick swinging, give us more of your money. And also, like I said before, the like 50-50 cut rumor came out, I was like, also, just saying, they might have also told them, like Sony, also, hey, could you guys knock off with this animated shit? We're Disney, we make animated movies. Because I could see Disney doing that. Like, Disney's very aggressive about their brand control.
Yeah.
That would not be a good decision for Sony because, like we said, Enter the Spider-Verse was really good and open-ended for sequels.
Yep.
Like, you know,
also, it also moved us away from, like, Disney and DreamWorks animation, which is, you know when you see a fucking Disney animated movie or, like, a DreamWorks animated movie.
No, it's for once Sony Animation Studios is actually being productive and not making the Emoji Movie. But it had a really unique, really groundbreaking style. Like, artistically, Enter the Spider-Verse is a huge achievement. And also, it's actually really good, like we said. So, like, I'm not gonna, without confirmation, I'm not gonna say that, like, Disney was, like, coming after them for their animated movie, but I could totally see from a business decision if Disney tried to put pressure on Sony to, like, be like, hey, guys, give us more money and also do less of that other stuff that distracts people from the brand. And Sony was like, fuck you guys, we're Sony, we make shitloads of money. No.
You gotta remember,
why do you think we need you?
Media homogeny.
Yeah, Disney's really eating stuff up. Like, on the one hand, oh, hey, that's really cool, X-Men are gonna come to the MCU someday. On the other hand, that's a little freaky, they've bought up Fox.
Yeah, so...
Considering that they also own ABC. Like, it's a little weird, and this was something I talked about with games before. I was like, there's a certain point when you're king of the hill in a genre or a medium or whatever, and you feel like you're untouchable and everybody needs you, and that's absolutely a lie. Because there are hundreds, thousands of other entities, whether individuals or other companies or other brands, that are just waiting at the bottom of that hill, crawling up after you, and they are just waiting for you to stumble and fall down. Like, they are ready to take that place, and you are not irreplaceable. Which is just a thing you should think about in your life. Yep. And I think I got a little close to the microphone there, but yeah, no.
Yeah, Disney definitely likes to try to do power moves. So... like, at first, like, reactions are like, oh my god, Sony, what the fuck are you doing? But now it seems like public reaction has kind of shifted over to, as, like, more news has come out about this, of, oh my god, Disney, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I'm seeing simultaneously, apparently on Twitter, both Save Spider-Man from Sony and Save Spider-Man from Disney are trending.
Yeah.
So,
this
like,
is the true Civil War right
the audience are mixed. They're like, on the one hand, the MCU, Spiderman was very good in the MCU, which he was. Homecoming was a great movie.
I like.
But also, on the other hand, Sony also knows what the fuck they're doing with this brand. Have you, like I said, did you play Spider-Man for the PS4 or see Enter the Spider-Verse? It's not like they're idiots either. So it may just be that we had two juggernaut brands who couldn't come to an agreement, and they took their toys and went home.
Actually, I think the best reaction I saw on Twitter was two companies in a pissing contest take a dramatic turn after they get posts on their shoes. I'm like, yeah, that
sounds about right. No, they both got a little pee in their Cheerios, and now it's come out to us, to the court of public opinion, which in business is a big deal, because we've just talked about it, right? Like, it's not the thing that happens that hurts your money. It's the next thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if EA released Battlefront 3, that would be a bomb. Because people would not trust them to release a new game of that. Though they are bringing back Clone Commandos and, like, 4-player co-op stuff, so, like, maybe... I think I said this to Ron last night. I was like, somebody hit me up when EA's Battlefront 2 has, like, a Game of the Year edition and it's complete, and then I'll get into it. Because on the one hand, they keep adding new shit, but I'm also like, I don't want to bother with all that. Just... When you're done making the game a complete game, call me. Like, that still makes me salty. I remember it was months ago, but somebody was like, why are people saying the 2005 Battlefront 2 was, like, the definitive one? This new one still, it's, like, added all these new maps and all this other stuff, and I looked up some research in it, and I'm still like, no, you're still full of it. Like, you don't understand what a complete experience that one was to people, because, like, they still don't have, like, Conquest, and, like, they don't have a lot of, like, the classical gameplay options that people liked from the original Battlefront, and they're still adding maps that were in, Battlefront, and adding factions and adding units, and it's not a complete experience yet, and I don't care enough about it to jump in before they've figured out what they're doing. Because I played the first EA Battlefront, and I was like, this is very pretty, and your sound design is on point because you literally stole it from Skywalker Sound. But otherwise, there's nothing to this game. It was very shallow. It was aesthetically correct. There was no meat to it. It was like prop food. Hey, here's a spoiler. We're at 2 hours 50 minutes, so I'm gonna leave everybody with this bombshell. When you see food in ads, like on commercials or TV or screen ads, that food's all fake. None of that's real.
Fake food.
That's like glue and cardboard and paint and completely inedible shit, which looks perfect. It's a lie. Yep. It's 100% a lie. So that's how I felt about the first Battlefront. It was commercial food. It's the presentation is really nice, but there's no fucking substance. But yeah, I think I'm getting super sleepy now because it's almost 11 o'clock and I've been talking for nearly 3 hours.
Yep.
And I'm a little dehydrated, so let's wind down.
Take us out, Omega.
Spider-Man stuff. So, hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. You can also join the discussion on our Discord. That link's in the description. And, of course, if you are new here and have not already, please subscribe to the channel. We're getting pretty close. We had a pretty big swell in subs lately. We're getting close to 2K.
Oh, nice.
We're I think we're at 1960.
Oh, we are close.
Yeah, we shot up pretty fast. Over the past couple of weeks. I'm real proud, but we're almost there. We're going to do some live stuff and maybe some other stuff at 2K, so, keep on pushing. Call your friends. And, of course, even if you've already subscribed, consider hitting that bell for notifications. You can always know when you post a new video, because, hey, Omega's going to post a What's Up in the middle of the week.
Tee-hee.
And, of course, like it says at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early in audio format, downloadable for all your convenience. For as little as $1 a month, and it really helps us out and drives us to do stuff, because, hey, you know that thing where, I couldn't do the show over the weekend because there was family and stuff? If you want me to work for you guys full-time, you gotta pay me more. So, watch our shows more and support us on Patreon.
Alright, that's the biz.
That's just how life be. I've already had the conversation with my mother that we're apparently going to my sister's for Christmas again, so I'm like, ooh, I'm not excited about this. But anyway. So yeah, that's the show. I don't know what we're going to do this weekend for What's Up. Are we just going to come back in 3 days?
Yeah, why not?
Sure, why not? And look out for Let's Talk FGO later this week, or check out Let's Talk FGO earlier this week if you missed it. We talked about some of the Summer 4 stuff, and the end of Summer 2, and we'll talk about some more stuff. Oh, that reminds me, shoot, I was like, is there some news I should write down? I did a news desk on it, but I should write down those news notes so we can talk about it in the show too. But that's everything, guys. We'll see you in the next video, whatever form that takes. Keep an eye out for all of our other videos and news and whatnots. And we'll be seeing you real soon.
Master of the Human Mind, out.